Talk the Kēki, not in Iran. Osashiku.
Konnichiwa!
Minasan, konnichiwa.
Hello, welcome to the Cinco De Mayo version of Talk the Kēki.
Yes.
My co-host is getting drunk already, or he'll get
I
there.
literally took my first sip right as we went live, sir. So that is incorrect.
He will be once we get rolling.
I probably might be tipsy as shit.
So
the end of this show.
We'll try to remember stuff. Unlike last week when I got high, I forgot shit that happened. Everything
because I got high. Because I got high.
Yeah,
because I got
high.
La da 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 da.
Anyway, I'm Matt, and to join me, Ethan, what's going on?
Gokigenyo, Matt Kun, daijoubu desu ka?
Daijoubu. I'm in my new office.
Subarashi. New office?
Yeah, in the Rutland. I started. Yeah.
I think you meant like, I was like, bro, that's the same.
No.
The same dresser.
No.
Missing fucking Haru or
no. They're outside.
Until they start scratching out the door, and you're like, all right, you sons of bitches, come in and bother fucking daddy. Come on.
Nope. They can leave me alone today.
Did you give them fucking edibles?
No.
Has he ate an edible yet? Because I know you said Haru has.
No, they love their catnip.
They love it. You know what's funny? I bought my cat because my cat, right? He loves scratching on the doormats. And he fucked up one of my doormats at my other house, and I had like a brand new what did they like the the really rough grain type ones that you'll get at like Home Depot, like the floor mats.
Yes.
And he's fucked it up to high heaven. He's fucked it up, and I get annoyed. Like I will yell at him, and he'll like skedaddle, and then that's it. But it's like all like clawed to shit. So my ex-girlfriend, I remember this. She used to have a little mat for her two cats, Pain and Panic was their names, to scratch on like a mat, right? And it would have like little cardboard bits you'd have to sweep up every so often, so it wasn't like messy. Like it wasn't like too messy, but it wasn't like mess free. But I was like, all right, I remembered that. Let me buy this for the cat. And so I got it in today. It came with two little things of like catnip and like little like weed bags. I was like, oh, this is pretty fucking interesting. So I spread it on there, but because it's hollow, it went through the little cardboard like claw thingy, and like the cat was just like rolling in the fucking mat that I didn't want it rolling on. And I was like, you son of a bitch.
Hey Chris, we just aired actually, so
yeah, we're just talking about cats and your new office and whatnot. So so that's my fun little story. I hadn't bought my cat stuff in a while, so I also bought him a new cat tree, about a 5-foot cat tree that's coming in on sometime between the 9th and the 17th. It did ship out, so I'm just waiting for it. So that'll be fun to assemble for the little bastard.
Yeah, and I got Haru's birthday on Monday. He'll be 3.
Oh, yeah, my cat turned 4 in December.
Nice.
Little old man. So tell me, how's the office, buddy?
It's good, actually. It's weird.
He bitched to me every day at some point about the new route. They're like, all right, rookie, here's this one. All right,
yeah,
Ricky,
no.
here's this one. All right, pleb, here's this one.
One is far away with no rest stops. I'm not getting it. That bit is over. Someone got it already. So like, it's fine.
I was gonna say you just need a piss bucket, dude.
No, I could pee places, but the other one, no.
Do you have to shit on the job? Most days, I guess.
Well, yes. When if I have a strong coffee, latte, whatever.
Okay, that's fair. I mean,
I always make sure I go to the bathroom before I depart, but if it happens in the middle, then...
No, so
it sucks with this one. Like I would have to drive all the way back to like it's 15 minutes to go to the office, use the bathroom, then go back to where I was.
Yeah. No, but, I mean it's easier for me because I work from home, so I could just like literally the bathroom is right on the corner from the office. I'm just like, all right. And then if I'm in a meeting, all I gotta do is just like take it on my phone.
Usually, it's the first half of that route. It's very long, like that. There's a big gap between the houses. But once I get past a certain point, the rest are very short.
You want to know? Speaking of houses and gaps. Another interesting thing before we get started. I was reading that I think it was Poland, there's a 6,000 house or 6,000 people community, and all the houses are on the same street. It's a long line of houses. Imagine delivering mail to that.
It'll happen.
It looks gorgeous, by the way, like with the aerial views. Like it's nothing but plains. Like their backyards, they have fences up to a certain point. That's their yard line. And in the back is nothing but like beautiful, lush green plains. Like it looks really nice. And like the houses look pretty solid. And it's just one long fucking line of land. And all of them have like fairly long driveways, or some of them have longer driveways than others, but they're still like normal size houses. I'm like, wow, this is really unique. I didn't know that. I thought that was pretty fucking cool. But then to your point, imagine delivering mail to 6,000 residents every single day on the single street.
If it goes by quick, I don't see why not.
Do you what's the average amount of people that you deliver to on a daily basis?
Walk-in is the average is about 300 to 400.
300 to 400 people's worth of mail worth of walking.
Yeah, and driving.
Are you walking now? Or are you like, are these routes walking or truck?
As I drive my truck to the spot, I park at a certain point, walk
that
loop,
it?
and I get out and I go to the next one. But if you're doing just driving, you can get about 700-800 houses, depends.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, with the office, it's like Las Vegas, but low budget.
It's like Las Vegas.
I've like crazy white trash people.
Oh yeah, you told me fucking.
Oh god, no.
Please do tell our viewers.
No,
please offend our white trash viewers, whom we don't really care much about. Go ahead.
No, just like some of these houses are like toys laid around the whole yard, half cups half full, food bags, all this garbage all around. I was like, oh my god,
bro. I can understand after a drunk night, but consistently, hell no.
I was like, I'm like, where am I?
You're in the South.
Yeah, I'm in the downtown.
You're in the poor places of the South. That's where you're at.
Yeah, but outside of that, everyone's
actual
nice.
homes, not trailer park.
Everybody likes me.
Good. You have competent leadership this time around?
Yes, yeah, I have that.
All right, good.
I got back. I was anything else you need me to do? There's like, what? No, you're done. Like, if extra work, we give it to you guys before you head out. We have it planned out. We don't have to go, hey, you're back. Go out.
Yeah.
Because you have to fill a quota. Like, no, we don't do that here. So it's okay.
Oh, because you're working in 2 different employment places this calendar year. At the end of the year, when they send the employee survey, are you going to get 2 different surveys? Because I mean, you could just take one survey. I
think it's just the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just the one survey. I don't do them. I don't fill them out.
Well, maybe you should this year so you can lambast your old office.
No, because they'll tell you it's discreet, but it's really not. So I ain't doing that shit.
Well, I mean, I guess ours is kind of discreet because I had one of my coworkers before she transfers to another department just lambast my boss, just fucking just.
I mean, if I was leaving, sure, but
rail him. No, but she's in the same company. She just transferred to a different department.
Oh shit!
But there were no negative repercussions. Nobody knows.
Lucky. All right, let's get to some of this.
All right, what's the news this week, Papa?
We got some news. The Foolish Angel Dances with Demons is getting an anime adaptation. The cover looks nice, but it's a seinen.
Okay.
But also school themed, so I guess it's a rom-com.
Well, Angel won't watch that. Moving on.
Yep. Youth's Story of a Family is getting a TV anime in fall 23.
The Cute Story of a Family.
Yep. Youth Story of a Family. Yep.
Oh, Youth? What the fuck is
Youth
Story of a Family. Yep. So there's a family and we go back in time to when they were before a family?
The Yuzuki family, which consists of 4 brothers, lost their parents 2 years ago. Hayato, the eldest son, is a hard worker and the pillar of the family. Mikoto, the second son, is calm and collective, but he has a soft spot for his younger brother, Minato, whom he adores and thinks is cute. Minato, the third son, is energetic and adores his brothers, but he is clumsy and awkward. Kakuto, the fourth son, is a studious and mature first grader who is often referred to as a wise man. The manga depicts the four brothers' daily lives as they navigate their family, school, and community.
That sounds cute.
It does. If nothing else big gets added to fall, I'll probably add it.
If nothing else gets added the fall, yeah, okay.
Like nothing big. Nothing big gets
I mean,
added.
motherfucker, we're at like 20 in summer, and fall is pretty damn close too already. We're at least over 10 in fall already.
Yeah, and summer is almost 20.
Yeah, summer's almost 20.
Yeah, we had to think, nope, as Bashoka Ted saying all this coming out in summer. Fuck you.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, let's see. Komada, a whiskey family, is being released in November 23. The original movie. The Do-Over Damsel Conquers the Dragon Emperor is getting a TV anime.
Okay.
Yamishibai is getting the 11th season in summer 23. I used to watch those. I may pick it up again. They're like 3 minutes.
Oh, really?
It's like a horse. It's like a little small horror stories in that Yamishibai style type of picture drawing.
Yeah, it fits you. Makes sense.
Yeah, but we'll see. They're okay. Like some stories are really good, some are just mediocre, some just bad.
Understood.
All right, more golf anime. Hey Tombo. Golf.
I thought you said goth. I was like, what's golf anime? Please describe it.
No, Hey Tombo is getting a TV anime in 2024.
If I don't watch regular golf, what makes you think I'm going to watch a golf anime?
I don't know. Mixed Media Project 100 Note is getting an anime. What else is there? Yeah, that is it for news. What you call it? The Quintessential Quintuplets new series is coming out in the summer for you guys that watch that.
I will watch it one day, no doubt.
Eventually.
Don't know when.
Yep. Let's get to our reviews already. You've been your first.
Son of a bitch. I got to remember what the fuck would happen.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be me in a bit too. So.
God damn it. Okay. So, again, easy for me. I only have 2. So we'll start off where Elena ends up at the Duke's mansion. Very solid episode. The episode basically picks up where the ball happens. And so, you know, everyone's like, oh my God, look at Raeliana. Look at Raeliana. She's so cute. Like, she's so pretty. And you know, she's loving the vibe. Right. And so First things first is there's a dance, and like all these guys, it's funny because actually, let me rephrase that. First things first, she meets a couple of high nobles, right? And one of them in particular has like a little bit of significance. So she has these conversations with the high nobles, and then after the conversation's over, a bunch of men come up to her and like, would you like to dance? Would you like to dance? Would you like to dance? And so she's like she's trying to be kind, but she's like, and then the Duke, Noah, basically guards her off, and he's like, sorry, boys. And then she's like, Raeliana, would you like to dance? Oh, of course I'd love to dance. And so there's actually a really, really good, like really cute, really like romantic ballroom dance that they do, like very nice, very perfect to the flow. Like she's doing fantastic. And like they have like Noah and Raeliana have a little back and forth between them, right? And you know, they're basically talking shit to each other, right? In like a funny, cute, but kind of like serious way. And it's funny, toward the end of the dance, Raeliana steps on his foot on purpose. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry I stepped on your foot. I guess I need more practice. And so that made me chuckle. After the dance is over, we see the intro of the villainess of the series. What the fuck is her name? Vixen, some shit. She's the Vixen. I don't remember her fucking son of a bitch. What if I click on the thing? Will it tell me her name? I don't think it will. I'll try, but I don't think it will. Where the fuck is Raeliana? Raeliana-sama? It does not. Son of a bitch. What the fuck is her name?
What's her name? What's her name?
What's her name? What's her name? Hey, I could sing too on this bitch. Let's go. Actually, you know what? I got a bad idea. Raeliana. I could just look at my review that I posted last week. That makes some sense, doesn't it? Eh? Oh no, that's right. Actually, never mind. I stopped posting reviews because fucking Sean took my review.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch! I didn't write a review.
Oh,
you rat bastard! I don't remember her fucking name. Actually, you know, I can go back to the previous review because I put the picture of her face, so that makes sense. Vivian, I got her fucking name. Vivian the Vixen. The introduction of Vivian the Vixen, and so Vivian, you know, has this like face, but before, like she's got like this really like sinister but snarky type of face. And as everyone's like focused on her, Noah comes up to Aureliana, is like, hey, I need you to do me a favor, right? And Aureliana's thinking like, oh, I don't want to interact with Vivian, like what the fuck? Like she's like, I'm so sorry for stepping on your foot, don't make me talk to her, which was funny. And she's like, no, the woman next to her is the wife of the count that you spoke to earlier. Apparently there's a woman's club, like an all women's club for like the husbands and fiancés of like significant nobles, that they gossip amongst each other. And the rumor has it that some of the gossip is actual like critical like information related to the kingdom. She's like, I want you to infiltrate that club and I want you to get information and relay it to me, right? And so she's like, I don't want to do that necessarily. And then Noah reminds her like, hey, you remember our deal? And you get a flashback to when they made the deal. The deal is like, that's fine, I'll pretend to be your fiance, but in return you're going to pretend to be my fiance too, and if I need something you better do it, right? Basically the interaction. She's like, son of a bitch. Okay, so she goes off, and this whole time she can't help but think that there's someone looking at her. And there is, like, you see little clips of like people, like a couple people in the shadows, right? Just like looking at her. And she's like, I feel someone's looking at me besides the guards. I just don't know who they are. And so the interaction happens where she sees Vivian and the woman, again, whose name I'm forgetting. I don't remember her name, but Vivian and the woman, they're like, I guess there's something or whatever. So Raeliana walks up and she pretends to spill red wine on the woman. And so actually, no, it wasn't Vivian. Vivian comes in later. Sorry. It was her and somebody else. A waiter. It was what it was. She was talking to a waiter about something. So she spills the red wine. The woman brings a plate up to her chest so the wine doesn't get on her clothes, but it does get on her hands. And Raeliana's glove, because she's wearing those like those arm high gloves, it gets soaked with the wine. And they're like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, whatever. And she's like, oh, and whatever, just trying to force an introduction, right? And the waiter goes away. And then at this point, when the waiter goes away, Vivian comes in. And she was like, oh, Raeliana, it's so nice to meet you. And like they have like a really snarky back and forth. Like she's basically talking shit to her. The other woman's like, no, bitch, you ain't gonna talk shit about me. Like it was like a really proper like verbal cat fight between Viviana and Raeliana. It was actually pretty cunning. Eventually, Nick, the gay beautician who I mentioned in the previous episode, comes over to save Raeliana, starts talking shit to Vivian. And you know how a gay person and a bitchy woman fight? Like it was like just like that, right? Little snarky backs and forth to each other. So Raeliana uses the time to bring the woman over. So she brings her over to like this like rest area, rest room, but not quite a rest room, but like a room where they can like whatever, right? And so the woman's like, hey, are those guards gonna be with us? And like you see all of Noah's guards, and there's like 6 of them, right? And they're like, so she goes over to the head guard. His name is Adam Taylor. Goes to the head guard and says, hey, do you mind leaving us, like so we can have a private conversation? And Adam's like, he doesn't speak, but he's like, nope, not gonna do that. Shakes his head no, right? And she's like, oh fuck, all right, well, there's a woman, right? And I think her name is like Grassley or something like that, right?
Right.
And so she's like, that woman night there. She's like, oh, I'm Grassley. And she's like, okay, can she stay with us because she's a woman, and the rest of you men can go? And Adam agrees. And Grassley, I guess she's gonna play a major part, because she's like, wow, Adam Taylor's taking orders from somebody that's not our master, Noah. Wow, that's pretty shocking. But in episode 2, they form a little bond, whatever. Anyway, so they all depart, and it's just the woman night, and the two end up having a talk. They go back and forth, blah 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 blah, and then eventually Raeliana's like, hey, I got no friends. I heard there's a club. I'd love to have other women of similar social standard to like talk to, because I'm by myself, da da da. And the woman's like, oh, would you like to join? And she's like, oh, why, yes, I would love to join. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. And all of a sudden, to end the episode, there's a big plume of smoke, right? The door opens, there's a big plume of smoke, and the woman knight draws her sword, and she's like, Raeliana-sama, are you okay? And Raeliana gets abducted. And the episode ends with her in a carriage, unconscious. They choke her with chloroform to make her unconscious. So the episode ends with her in the back of a carriage, unconscious due to chloroform, and there's a guy looking above her, and it's just driving away from the castle.
Nice.
So, good abduction scene, good cliffhanger. We'll see what happens there. Moving on, Galaxy Next Door. Galaxy Next Door was really solid. I understand Starman because we talked on our. I don't know if you saw the back and forth Starman had.
I saw you back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah, like I understand some of his like not misconceptions, some of his feelings about the show, but I like it more than he does. But it is what it is. In any case, and the episode starts off with Ichiro thinking about what happened the previous episode. The previous episode is when Shiori is like, I love you. And she's like, huh? And that's how the episode ends. So he's trying to do some work, but he can't concentrate because all his mind is like, what the fuck happened, dude? Like, holy shit. So the kids come in, right? His brother and sister come in. They're like, hey, we're supposed to go to the zoo. I want to see baby giraffe. He's like, all right, let's go. They open the door and there's a fucking monsoon outside. It's just pouring fucking rain. And they're like, well, fuck. And then he's like, well, we can do other stuff. Like, you want to do whatever, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, yeah, that's fine. But they're all dejected. They go in their room. They're really dejected, whatever. He goes to work, does a little bit of work. He comes out for coffee. And while this is kind of happening, we see Shiori. Shiori is in the same pickle, thinking about everything that happened. Like, she's flustered. She's like, I'm going to try and practice. But all she can practice is just figures of Ichiro, like different pictures of Ichiro she's drawing. And she's all flustered and doesn't know what to do. So when Ichiro comes out to get his coffee, Shiori happens to be there. And they have like an awkward like exchange back and forth. And then she opens the door a little bit and she sees the kids. They're very quietly playing, looking dejected. So Ichiro tells them like what the plan was supposed to be today. Da, da, da. And then so Shiori's like, hey, I'll play with them. That's fine. You do your work. I'll be stepmom. All good. Okay, sure. Okay, cool. The goes there. They start to talk a little bit. Shiori and the kids and the what's it called? The girl, right? The girl kid whose name I'm forgetting. I can probably look it up because she's probably a character on here. What is Galaxy? Where is here? It is Galaxy. A galaxy next door. Machi. No, Machi's the boy. No, Machi's the girl. Machi's the girl. Fumio's the boy. Okay, so Machi was like, oh, but she's like, what do you have, Machi? And they're like, oh, it's a custom tarot card that my brother made when we were younger. Do you want me to tell your fortune? Okay, sure. She pulls the card, and the cards, because they're old, rips in half. Now she's even more depressed. The girl and everybody's now depressed. And Ichiro comes in. He's like, what the fuck happened? And she's like, oh, the card ripped. I feel so bad, blah, blah, blah. And then Ichiro's like, well, it's not a big deal. Like, I know the cards are old. Do you want me to remake you some? Like, I don't mind. And she's like, no, well, if you're going to remake them, I want to do it like a certain way. And she's like, oh, well, how do you want it done? But she needs a book. And Shiori's like, well, I was going to go to the library anyway, so I don't mind. They're like, dude, it's fucking raining. She's like, don't mind. She leaves. And she's gone for a while. Ichiro's wondering, where's Shiori? And Machi picks up on that. And she's like, if you want to go meet her, go meet her. He's like, all right, take care of your brother. All right, we'll do. So she goes, ends up meeting Shiori in the middle. And Shiori's like, oh, I got the reference books, da 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 da. And they have like a little bit less awkward of a conversation, right? Things are well, all good. Right. And then Ichiro's like, hey, didn't you say you were going to go to the library for something yourself? She's like, oh, yeah. She's like, well, did you get what you wanted? I forgot. Good job. So they walk back home. They read the reference books. Everybody contributes in making the cards. It's a grand old time inside. And the cards are made. They look fabulous. Everything's perfect the way she wanted it. Everything is good. Shiori comes back into the room after it's done. And she's like, we might as well go full retard with it. Full send. And she brings out 2 clothing racks, a large cloth. And I guess, I don't know where she found a fucking little children's dress, but she found a children's dress. And she made her into like a little fortune teller booth, made her look into like an actual fortune teller with the veil and everything. Like it was really cute. So, she's like, oh, they start telling the fortune, da da da, everything's good. And Ichiro goes back to work, does his work. Everything is solid. Like we're good. We're clear. It's a good day after all. Kids are asleep. Ichiro goes back into the room, into like this common area. And he puts up a sign that says, don't tear down until the morning. Ichiro, like head manager Ichiro, right? Boom, puts it on there. And they brought a planetarium that they were using as a crystal, like a crystal ball. So he turns on the planetarium, who he mentions his late father had given him as a kid. Turns on the planetarium starts lighting up. He's admiring it. Shiori comes in, no idea why, but she comes in. And he's like, oh, she's like, are you tearing it down? Like, let me help you. And she's like, nah, I'm not tearing it down. I'll let the kids do that in the morning since we let them play. right? And they start talking, and they finally have the conversation about what happened the night before. And Shiori just reiterates kind of the stuff that she said, and Ichiro's like, wait. And he starts to reject her. He's like, listen, I appreciate your affection toward me, but like, I don't like having my love life decided for me. I'd still appreciate it if you go through with the annulments, right? And he continues. He's like, I don't see my priority is making sure that the two kids are good, like, you know, that they go to college. If they want to go to college, and supporting them, like, they're my only real family. They're my number one priority. As he's saying this, because he's rejecting the person who he's supposed to marry, the curse that he has starts riding up his arm and up his neck, and it's straining his voice, like he's like losing like breath when he's talking. And Shiori's like, don't reject me anymore, you're gonna die, right? And he's like, no, I gotta say this. And then he about faces. He's like, spending time with you has been a blessing. The more I spend time with you, the more I think about all the laughs that we have. I enjoy our time together. I want to like see where this continues. Will you go out with me? He fucking confesses right there, right?
Okay.
And this is episode 4, so we get an early confession, episode 4. And Shiori is over the moon. She is squealing like a little girl that just got a new doll. She is in heaven, and she collapses. And Ichiro's like, no, what did I do? Like, are you okay? And the episode ends with her saying, my heart is so full, I feel like it can burst, as she closes her eyes and has a big grin on her face to end the episode. Great episode.
That's cute.
Very cute. I'm done, Matt. Go ahead. That took me about 13 minutes.
Alrighty, Mashal. I did watch today, so it's gonna be 2 episodes, but I'll be quick about it.
It's not what she said.
Yeah. Episode 4, we picked up where we left off on the previous episode. It's Quidditch or Duello.
Duello.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's like Quidditch.
It's basically Quidditch without a goalie.
Okay. Are they riding, and they're riding around on brooms and everything?
Yep.
Have you seen real Earth Quidditch? How stupid everybody looks?
No, but I believe it.
It's funny.
Anyway. But basically, of course, since Mash can't fly, he's stuck on the ground with his broom. One of the teammates was I trying to talk to him about it, had to explain how the game works, but that guy gets knocked down by the enemy team. So all the people are like upset, and now Mash is like, all right, I got the game now. So he starts flying with the broom, and he's flying by kicking his feet. It's like a fucking hummingbird, like holding himself up.
Oh, so he's literally like using his feet as wings.
Yes, but they don't see that
because he's going so fast.
Yes.
Okay.
So he got the ball and like threw it in the goalpost, and it came back like a boomerang. So he caught it again, back and forth, back and forth.
But he's making it.
Yes.
And there's no goalie.
Yeah. So no one is trying to stop it, but no, they win the game because it was like 800 to like 67 or something. Like, game's over. We're done.
You know the amount of core strength you need to do that? That core strength must be god.
He trains every day, man.
Oh my god, that core strength is godlike. You could break a brick on his chest, and he's like, "Oh, that tickled."
Oh man, that guy's fucking jacked. So,
oh dude.
So his house wins the game, and because he scored so many fucking points, he gets a gold coin. Which basically, if you get 5 of them, it makes like a necklace of something. I forgot what it does, but you need 5 of them. You need to collect 5. So we get a new character, Lance Crown. He's like, he has 2 marks on his face. So that means the 2 marks means you're a strong wizard, magic user.
Like, it's not like an accident or a
no
hack. Like, they do that on purpose.
Yes.
Okay, it's not like a scar. It's like a tattoo.
Like, it's just something that just forms, like, for like the magic in you makes that.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, his name is Lance. He sees that Mash has one of the silver coins, and he has one, so he wants his basically because he wants to become the divine visionary as well. So to get Mash to come fight him, basically, he captures his friends Tom, Vin, and Lemon. in a bottle. Says, "Hey, if you want them, come meet me here." There's a small little fight, and then Lance's pendant it falls off, and Mash catches it. He looks inside, and it's his little sister, but he didn't know that. So he looked at it, he's like, "This guy's a lollipop." He's like freaking out. He's a lollipop. I need to call the police.
Oh, I seen this. I saw this.
Yes,
You
yes.
posted. Yeah,
It's like, no, I have a sister complex.
that's better.
Pretty much. But this is where he's talking about he wants to be the divine missionary because his sister has an illness. So if he gets that, he'll find a way to cure his sister.
Cute.
So it's all that. It says, okay, fine. You want your friends that badly? He takes the bottle with the friends written, chucks it over the cliff. It's like, well, what are you going to do? So he does his own hamstring magic, muscle mode.
Muscle mode.
That's what Mash calls it. Just darts down this cliff, catches them, comes back, gets them, and now he gets Lance's silver coin. That was the end of episode 4.
So if you get a silver coin, what does that mean?
I say you need 5 of them. I think it makes you move up to
coins.
silver. You need 5 silver. Sorry.
Oh, then what? You got a gold.
But they're like broken up into like 5 pieces. Yeah, like collect them to make like a pendant type of thing.
So it's not silver, it's gold. Or sorry, it's not gold, it's silver.
It's silver.
So he won a silver coin in the Quidditch battle.
Yes.
Okay.
And now he got a second one from Lance for that little bet they did.
Okay.
All right. We're moving on to episode 5. It's a potion class. Of course, Finn and Mash, they didn't do their assignments.
Of course not.
And of course, Lance starts to scold them. It's like, why would I help you? But Mash has the pendant. But Mash has the pendant with the sister. So the guy just flicks back because I still like, my weakness type of thing.
Oh, God.
Yes. But it's like, all right, fine. So basically, you got to get this talking daikon that they have. It's like, okay, you got to make it shut up because it just screams at you.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, fine. So you're going to kill it, right? No. It's basically you got to put a quiet spell on it to make it fall asleep.
Well, Mash can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So Mash says the spell, but this daikon just starts screaming louder, and it's getting bigger. Finn is done, but it's basically getting bigger, like, all that type of thing, and he just slaps it across the face, and it goes down.
That would be fun. That's animal abuse. How dare they?
But no, it's a fucking radish. So.
Oh, it's a radish.
It's a talking radish.
It's a rabbit.
Daikon. It's a radish.
Oh, the daikon was a rabbit. I was like, that's animal abuse. How dare they?
It was like screaming.
Our main event is a fucking girl that fucking strangled 2 fucking ducks. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, moving on. Go ahead. You froze. God damn it. Of all times for Matt to lose internet. You son of a bitch. Why, Matt? Why? 33 minutes in, he lost his internet. All right, let me let this fucking guy know. Where is Sean? Shout out to Sean at W2M Network. Early plug. At Sean. At lost connection. At 33 minutes into the show. Show need editing, sir. At least you lost your internet on a pretty little fucking thing of you laughing. That's cute. And there he goes. He's gone. All right. In the interim, for me to cover and kill time. Just as a heads up, guys, we are planning to, Matt and I, at some point soon, watch the 2-part movie that debuted on Crunchyroll. I believe it debuted on 420. I forget the names of them, but it's like To the Better Half I Love You and To the Love of Better Half or something like that. Something along those lines. Motherfucker. Yes, I know. I am trying to kill time. LOL. Anyway, we're going to watch those. Basically, it's pink and blue, blue and pink. So Matt is going to do blue and pink, and I'm going to do pink to blue. Reason being is, according to the author or the movie person, whatever title you want to say, basically the outcomes change depending on which version you watch first and last. So we're going to do alternatives, and then we'll compare and contrast notes. Very much looking forward to that. Very, very, very much looking forward to that. I don't have problems with it's just at night. Clouds affecting the satellite? Question mark? LOL? I don't know. We shall see. Anyway, so we're planning to watch that at some point in the next few weeks. We will do a full comprehensive review on that. I'm very, very much looking forward to that. Something tells me I feel like we should bring Starman in there for a 3-man review. I think that the juice may be worth the squeeze in that instance. So just a heads up in terms of future programming. In regards to our main event, you can't see it currently because my face is there. Rip Matt's connection. Indeed, Chris. RIP Matt's connection. That's what happens. Thank you, Elon Musk. And fucking what the fuck is that thing called? His internet. Son of a bitch. I was gonna say like GlobalCon. I don't know why the fuck the word GlobalCon came up. That was dumb. Probably. LOL. Awkward as fuck filling time in LOL. Hayaku. Hayaku, Matt-kun, Hayaku. Donikaku. Means anyway. Yeah, so you can't see the background right now because my face is in it, but our main event will be Konosuba, a fantastic episode there. I guess I can give you guys my weekly thoughts while I'm continuing to kill time. Thank you, Alexa. I'm not trying to say anything. Appreciate that. Anyway, excuse me. I felt this week was a little bit weaker than some of the weeks. Had some cute moments, had some nice moments as a whole. Throughout the episodes this week. Another note, if we continue on, that is, depending on Matt's connection. We cannot watch, or we are not, I cannot, but we are not watching Gundam. My dumbass forgot about it, and I've been behind this whole week on anime due to other stuff. I saw both. Chris, what did you say? I saw both. They were okay. I prefer To Me over To Every You. Is that pink to blue or blue to pink? You tell me. I'm going pink to blue. I like the pink's synopsis a little bit more than the blue. That's why we decided that way. I called dibs on that one. So is that blue to pink or pink to blue? I'm not looking it up currently. So please write in the comments which version that is, good sir. Thank you very much. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, we're not doing a Gundam review today because my dumbass forgot because I've been behind on anime. So I think one thing, I don't know if he mentioned it. I think he mentioned it last week that the episode 15, I believe it is, of Gundam will be a recap episode. Matt and I will not watch that. So because I missed this week's episode of Gundam, the finale next week has already been decided. We're going to do a double Gundam. Apparently this week's Gundam was actually phenomenal. Shame I missed it right now. I will be watching it after this show is over in some capacity. So look forward to that come next week. What else does the survey say? The fucking satellite decided to update, so I gotta wait for that to finish. All right, I'm killing a lot of fucking time here because Matt's fucking satellite decided to update. Currently I'm drinking a tequila sunrise for those who care, even though I only have one viewer. Appreciate that, Chris, for sticking around. It is pink to blue. Yes, I am so happy I'm watching the one that you liked. Woo! That makes me feel good. Anyway, yeah, so I'm drinking a tequila sunrise right now. It's simply 1800 and some orange juice, Tropicana orange juice. So it's a cute little drink for a Cinco de Mayo. What else can I talk about? I normally, fun fact about the podcast, normally I try to put something on the television while I'm doing the podcast, so there's something else in my background. Currently I'm watching the Boston Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers in the NBA playoffs. Philadelphia has made a nice run on Boston. They are only down 2 with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Is that Derek White? Derek White just missed the 3. Joel Embiid with the rebound, passes to James Harden across half court. James Harden has the ball. He is dribbling. Joel Embiid sets the pick. And Grant Williams is on the defense. Harden step back 3, and it rims in and out. Derek White with the rebound coming downfield. Jason Tatum running down the side. Fake the pass, and it's a blocked, looks like a deflected shot. Al Horford wide open for 3. He hits the 3. 77-72 Boston with 4 minutes and 32 seconds to go in the third quarter. Tyrese Maxey dribbles the ball up to the thing, to up past half court. They're setting up the offense. It is nice. Oh, I can give a warning. Can I give a warning about the movie that doesn't have any spoilers? Sure, why not? We're killing time. Fuck it, right? Go ahead. I will read it out loud. By all means, go ahead. As I take another sip, Harden step back from the free throw line, rims in and out. Tatum with the rebound, passes to Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown going down the right side of the court, does a double move, gets fouled, and hits the shot. And one for Jaylen Brown. 79-72 Boston with 4 minutes to go on the clock. Jaylen Brown will step to the free throw stripe for a single free throw. Still killing time, guys. Still killing time while I practice my radio basketball calling abilities, I suppose, eh? All of Boston is happy right now. Jaylen Brown at the free throw stripe. The shot is up. Nothing but net. 80-72 Boston. 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Counting down. James Harden takes the ball up court. Guarded by Jaylen Brown this time. James Harden passes to Joel Embiid on the left side of the court. Joel makes a fake move, goes down the stripe, and he gets fouled on the pass by Grant Williams as he was passing to Tobias Harris. As the crowd, let's see. I gave this warning to Matt, but near the end of both movies, they do this weird montage that completely spoils the other movie. So if you don't want to be spoiled, you're free to skip it. Jesus Christ, are you serious? Wow. So I have to cut the movie off like with how much to go, Chris? Like 5 minutes to go, like 10 minutes to go. That's crazy. Wow. That's nuts. Like I'm low-key a little nervous to watch the movie. Like I'm excited to see it, but this is such a unique idea for me. Like I'm just like, wow. So I'm very curious to see how this story plays out. I guess I haven't seen anything. I don't know shit about the movies. I haven't even seen previews or trailers or nothing. The only thing that I could surmise based off of the two synopses is based off Pink the Blue. Pink the Blue basically means that they become stepsisters and they are trying to find a place where they're not stepsisters. Actually, no, I'm lying. I did see one spoiler, and it was of the man when he's like 60 years old and sees the girl. I don't know what that means. I'm looking forward to see what that means. But basically, I think what it is in the first movie, what I'm guessing is what happens in the first movie is they find that location and something happens and they get stuck or somebody dies or gets lost at some point. And so then the other person in the other movie, in this case, I think it's the girl, goes back in time, manages to reach the old time zone and say, hey, we were together on this thing. And then the story goes off. I think I'm relatively close. Do not let me know how close I am. I don't want to know that. But that is my initial thought process on how that's going to go. I'll see how close my thesis is from that standpoint. But dude, I appreciate the warning. I would have not known. No, the worst thing is that by spoil, I mean, it shows movie beats and you can't just cut it off because there's more after that. Wow. Damn. Again, do you know like around what time so I can fast forward? Like, is there like a trigger for this? I'd like to know so I can completely avoid it, if possible, sir. Because at least if I can avoid the first one, which is pink, so I can avoid that one if I know like approximate time frame for that. I suppose I could Google it, but I don't know. I'd be scared to Google it. I can look it up, please, if you don't mind, sir. I appreciate that. Meanwhile, while Chris looks that up and I continue to kill more time, welcome to the second viewer from the W2M Network Facebook page. Hey, guys. Matt currently has an update on his Starlink. I remember the thing now. Starlink internet. I decided to update out the blue. So I'm waiting for him to reconnect. I am killing time currently. So I'm just discussing the two movies that Matt and I plan to watch sometime in the next few weeks. To Me over to Every You. To Me is one, to Every You is another one. That's the short version, thanks to Chris in the comments. So we're just discussing little bits and pieces, no spoilers. Just trying to get a feel for it, since I mentioned that Matt and I plan to watch it at some point. Matt's original plan actually was to watch it tonight, but again, I've been so behind on anime due to random things that couldn't watch it tonight. I wasn't gonna watch it anyway tonight because there is a ONE FC card. By the way, shout out to my boy Matt with the MMA for Marks podcast, also on W2M Network. Shout out to W2M Network. There is a big ONE FC card that I was hoping to watch in real time. Due to this podcast, though, I am not watching in real time, which is fine and dandy. You know, it is what it is. You know, we gotta get this done, so it's all good. So, you know, here we are. Here we are, Governor, and we lost our number one fan, or our number two fan. Sorry, Chris is our number one fan. Zero doubt. Chris Zephyr, number one fan of Talk the Kēki. And the game is in commercial, so I cannot give you updates currently on the game while I continue to wait for Matt. The fucking satellite. Are you watching me kill time at least? LOL. Go to my wrestling chat. Double Jeopardy. Winner gets a shot at the loser's title. So either Phoenix gets an ROH title shot or Claudio and whoever gets a shot at the ROH World Tag Team Champions. Oh, cool. Oh, that's cool. Expect Claudio to lose then. Unless wins and it's Claudio and Wheeler, so that Wheeler can take the L. That would also make sense. No, Matt is not watching me kill time. You son of a bitch. 1:14:45 to 1:19:06. That Jesus Christ, 5-minute montage of the other movie? Are you fucking joking? Dude, that's insane. That is batshit nuts. Holy balls, Batman. I got a screenshot. Actually, no, I'm gonna write it down. I can't screenshot this. Let me write it down. Chotomate kudasai. Chotomate kudasai. We're gonna go do it on the fall review, which I have to keep doing not fall review. I gotta do my anime reviews. I gotta actually keep posting these. I keep not posting it for a while. I'm so lazy with this shit. 1:14 to 1:19. Okay, so I'm just gonna skip 5 whole minutes. I'm not gonna do the actual time frames, 45 to 06. So we're actually no, I'll do I have to do 06 for this 06 for the other one. I can skip a minute or so. We'll do 1:14. We'll round it off 30 seconds. 30. All right. I added the note there. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Chris said, yes, I was certainly surprised when I first saw it without knowing what was happening. Well, son of a bitch. That's gotta suck dicks, eh? God damn it. Why not? LOL. Asking Matt why he's not watching me. Nashville is getting Mania 43 in 2027. Good for them. Current stat line, Joel Embiid, 30 minutes, 25 points on 7 of 13 with 7 rebounds. That is a very solid game for Joel Embiid coming off his second game from his knee injury that he sustained in round 1 of the playoffs. James Harden is also on the bench, so therefore the second unit is officially in, although Joel Embiid does still have his uniform on. We'll see if he goes back into the game. James Harden, though, is got some ice on his knees while he sits on the bench, and he's looking at a box score. James Harden currently has a bad game right now. He's 20 points, 3 of 20, 23 shooting on 1 of 8 from the 3-point stripe so far between the combined games 2 and 3. Current score is Boston 83, Philadelphia 76, 1:58 to go in the third quarter. Robert Williams at the charity stride for 2 shots. He hits his first one, 84-76 Boston, same time frame. Joel Embiid is still in the game, so there is one superstar in for Philadelphia as he tries to box out Grant Williams on the block. Tobias Harris and Marcus Smart are on the other block. Robert Williams hits his second free throw, 85-76 Boston, 1:58 to go. Tyrese Maxey receives the ball from Tobias Harris on the inbound pass as he dribbles up court. Tyrese Maxey deciding on what play to go. He is now center court, passes off to a white boy who I don't know. White boy passes off to Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid back to white boy. White boy back to Maxey. Maxey to a dude I don't know. The dude I don't know shoots, and he misses a contested layup. Marcus Smart passes to Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum dribbles out, Passes back out to Grant Williams. Grant Williams shoots for three, and he makes it. Boston 88, Philadelphia 76. A minute and 22 to go in the third quarter. Because loading on it sucks. Waiting for this fucking thing to finish already. How much longer do you have? Question mark. As I continue to look up, like a missed shot from Philadelphia. Joel Embiid knocks it off of Grant Williams' hand. Philadelphia retains possession on their side of the court, as they show a replay of the previous possession. Good ball movement, though. There was a complaint in game 2 of the lack of ball movement from Philadelphia's side, hence why they got waxed, although they're still getting kind of waxed now. So it is what it is from that perspective. We lost another viewer. Wonderful. Still just Chris. You're a trooper, Chris. Thank you for holding on. Joel Embiid goes for the shot, gets stripped, gets his own rebound. Robert Williams fouls him as he goes up for the shot. Joel Embiid will go to the free throw line for 2 free throws. 58.8 seconds left in the third quarter. I don't know. Bash said 15 minutes, but that was 15 minutes ago. Do you work on Sundays? If not, we should do early Sunday morning instead. I have plans to go to the baseball game on Sunday. I've got all night tonight, Matt. You tell me. I've got time, Papa. Do you? LOL. I'd rather not, actually, because I'm almost always hungover. LOL. And I like to be in bed until 2 to 3 p.m. LOL. Tales of a podcast. Chris says, I wanted to tell Matt to do the pink to blue because blue's montage is actually somewhat important to the overall plot and doesn't seem like it would hit the same. Damn, this is so like, I feel tense. You telling me this, Chris? I feel like kind of tense now, like in anticipation for the movie. I think that, I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but I don't know. There's like some sort of tension now that I'm feeling with this movie because of like how critical this like intricate story is between two 2-hour movies. It's pretty wild. Not gonna lie. Let me take another sip of my tequila sunrise. 28 seconds to go on the clock. Philadelphia possession down by 11. 88-77 Boston. 23 seconds to go. Joel Embiid has the ball. He is triple teamed and is stripped by Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum runs down the court and he is going to dribble back out. He's dribbling back out, guarded by White Boy. 11 seconds to go. They are holding for the last shot of the game. Jason Tatum, Tyrese Maxey comes over for the double team, passes off to Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart pops up, passes back to Jaden Tatum. Tatum shoots, and he bricks the three to end the quarter. 88-77, Boston over Philadelphia at the end of the third quarter. One more quarter to go in game 3 of the second round of the NBA playoffs. I don't think I do that bad, all things considered. I think I have a career as a wannabe announcer. Meh. You know? Meh. Ideal. This is the most time I've ever had to kill on a podcast. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate it. That's funny. LOL. I'm going to save that meme because it's so funny. It says white guys on Cinco De Mayo and is showing a jobber wrestler. His name is Bobby Salsa. And it's funny. Save that. Still just killing time here, guys. Sending a meme out to all my friends. Still sending emails to all my friends. Still waiting. Ay, Dios. So, Chris, talk to me since you're the only one that's here. Still waiting. Well, to say something that isn't about the movie, I added 4 series to my already huge list. One Hit Kill Sister, Cult Konosuba. What is Cult Konosuba? Rakudo's Bad Girls and Legendary Hero is Dead. Interesting. So what are your thoughts on that, sir? Please enlighten me while we have this one-on-one, you and me. Kamikatsu. Cult Kamikatsu. Ai, naruhodo. Dewa, your thoughts, sir? I'm gonna pick out a new background for my phone while I wait. Well, surprisingly, these series I wrote off were good. Wonderful. Have you dropped anything this season since you have a huge list, sir? I'd like to know. While I continue to wait. While I continue to wait. Yeah, I dropped Aristocrat Isekai. It was too much of the same. Usual plot. Are you talking about Raeliana that I had talked about previously? Or no, is there another one that you're referencing, sir? No, that series is great. Wonderful. I'm glad you think so. I appreciate it. Aristocrat, Otherworldly Adventure. All right. I'm gonna give it till 10:30. Wow. So I'm gonna kill time until 10:30. Sounds good, Matt. I appreciate it. You want to cut the feed and we go back in if I come back? Oof. Yeah. Chris says oof. See what Sean's doing. Let me see what Starman is up to. see. Starman at talking to my friends while we wait. While I try to find a second background. Fun fact, another fun fact. I love absolutely my favorite all-time series is Clanad. I bawled so much watching Clanad. Literally was a fucking disaster. And so a little personal, my ultimate goal in life is to have a child of my own. So I always said until I get a child of my own, I would always have Ushio from Clanad as my background because I absolutely adored her. Absolutely, she just touched she tickled the strings in my heart. I absolutely adored her so much. So I always keep her and or Nagisa as my background. So it's either on my home or my other one. So just added a couple things here on mine. So you can see here I got the you can see I've got the fruits basket background with our lovely couple there. And then in the background I've got Don't Mind the Apps. I've got Ushio and Nagisa in my background. So cute little thing I got going on here. How can you podcast on the one day? Always watch on replay. That's why I can go. That's why I could do that. All right. While we continue to wait for Matt, got another 40 minutes until he decides to show up. I could cut the feed, Chris. Up to you. Do you want to do something else, buddy? If you could go do something else, I'll cut the feed in the interim. You let me know what you want to do, buddy. And we'll come back on hopefully by 10:30 if he decides to show up. Up to you guys. Current score is 95-89 Boston. Philadelphia's making another run. 7:04 to go in the first quarter. Tyrese Maxey brings up the ball after a Boston, I believe, shot clock violation on that. James Harden has the ball as Joel Embiid sets the pick. Harden steps back for three. Harding is long on the 3. Boston comes back up the floor. Jason Tatum passes over to Horford. Horford passes over to Grant Williams. Grant Williams. No, I'm sorry. That's not Grant Williams. That is some other person I didn't see. But regardless, they got fouled, it looks like. So they might be going to the charity stride. 6:41 to go in the fourth quarter. 95-89 Boston goes to commercial break. Hey, deal. I tagged Starman to see if he would join us. Don't know where he's at. It's awkward ass silence. So I have any other anime friends that want to join me on the pod? I can't think of anything. I'm currently catching up on a series I didn't get to watch during the week. What series is that, sir? Please inform us. You know what? I have an idea. I'm going to send a link over to Matt, and I'm going to see if Matt can do it vocally while he waits for his shit to come up. I think that would make sense. I'll bring him in as a guest. Join as a guest and do audio only. Should have thought about that sooner. Duh. Wonder if Matt went away. See if Matt joins as a guest. See what happens there. While we wait. Still waiting. It's not a bad idea, Chris. Can you call Matt and talk to him without the video? What I did was I sent him an invite link to this. See if he could join as a guest. We can save what we have and continue where we left off. We might do Monday instead. We'll see. I have an idea. Let me call Matt on the phone and see. Since the thing is going to come back. I don't know how this will work. Let me see. Matt. Where is Matt? M-A-T. There it is. Matt, talk to Keki. Give me 10 more minutes and we'll see where it's at. Let's put him on speaker and see what happens.
Hello?
Why do we do this ghetto? And I put you on the phone in front of my mic and you talk. This is Chris's suggestion.
So just have me on the call. No.
Oh man, it's been fun. At least I've been going back and forth with Chris. I've been doing some wannabe commentary on the Boston-Philadelphia match that I have on the TV. So even your internet or even your phone connection is kind of shitty. Jesus.
Yeah. House.
Oh my God, it's so bad. What did you say?
Yeah, salad. While you get fucked.
Seriously, dude. He said, I can hear him. Chris said, I can hear him, so that's something.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I got to try to see if there's like a fiber option around here.
You got to think there's a fiber option, right?
It better be.
Are you locked into a contract with Starlink though, or no?
I don't think so. No.
True.
Yeah, just as long as we just pay it monthly.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, if I can find one, if it's cheaper, I'll switch to that probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is fuck.
Dude, that's madness.
Again, morning, afternoon, totally fine. Nighttime, get bent.
And you're not sharing it with anybody, right? It's only yours specifically.
What was that? You broke up.
I said you're not sharing it with anybody, right? It's yours specifically, right?
It's just us, yeah.
What was Bash doing? Like, was she doing any, or were they doing anything like high
No.
frequency? No.
Nope. Just on their phone on the bed.
Weird.
Yep. This is why I wanted to try Sunday morning. That way we get out of the way and you can go back to bed till 3 p.m. when we're done at like 10 in the morning.
Hell no, I'm not gonna wake up that early, fool. You crazy. You are crazy. I don't wake up for my family at that time. I'm not gonna wake up to do a podcast as much as I love my podcast. And Boston, it's at 3. No, I mean Monday should be fine. I was gonna take Monday to watch some of the fights, depending, but I think we should be okay. Well, if we're only doing, are we doing up to Jesus Christ? I mean, if we do Monday, that'll give me an opportunity to watch. What was I gonna say? That'll give me. Well, I could also do Sunday night, depending for my fights. If we do Monday, then we can do Gundam and we can do Tony Kawa for sure, because I'll watch those after at some point tonight. And then we'll just skip the weekends and we'll start only from Friday?
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay.
Yeah, even Bash said the thing out there says I gotta think maybe 6 a.m.
Yeah. Okay. All right, it is what it is then. It's a wash. We'll pick up from Mashal then.
Like I said, I'll know where we left off, so.
Okay. I will have to. All right, I'll message Sean and see what he can do about splicing the episodes together, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, sorry, man.
It is what it is. All good, man.
Well, like I said, we'll just have a big show on Monday.
Oh boy. All right, buddy.
Yes. Like I said, we'll figure this out. I'll try to find a new internet provider.
All right, sounds good. Watch you get internet as soon as you hang up.
I'll be pissed.
You'll be like, well, that's that.
Yeah. All right. Hold on.
What's up?
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
It's back.
Son of a bitch. All right. 50 minutes. I killed 50 minutes of time, buddy.
Alrighty.
All right. Look who's back.
All right. Fuck
Look
for
who's back.
Fuck for bot internet.
You rat bastard.
Sorry, guys.
So I was talking to Chris about a multitude of things, and he warned me the warning that he gave you about blue to pink and pink to blue, the montage.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I was like, wow.
Where was I?
Mashal and the potion, and after he slapped it to go the radish to go to sleep.
Yes, and the radish was like,
He orgasmed when he got slapped. Okay.
Yep. No, he just had a happy face. He didn't have an orgasm. He just had a happy face.
I mean, if he's sighing, that means the radish probably came. Is it a he? Can we gender them?
It's a he. It's a he.
It's a he. Okay. Does the radish have a penis?
It's a daikon. I don't fucking know.
All right.
Basically, okay, so last says, okay, now you just cut it up, you cook it, add a spice, done. Potion. She does that.
Right.
Okay, so Mash does that. Cut, froze the oven, cooks, spice. It turns to a fucking cream puff.
Oh wait, I gotta let Sean know. What time did you came in? 1:13?
Yep.
All right. Where's
And there's like, how the fuck did you turn it into a cream puff? It's like, okay, let's try this again. Let's just all right, though he was like going directly, like very slowly. Here's this, you do this. And Mash is like, got it. It also turned into a fucking cream puff.
Okay.
Yep. So
Cream puff, cream pie.
cream puff.
Oh, you said cream pie the second time. So I was like,
it was a fucking cream puff.
Are we foreshadowing what's going to happen tonight because you're pissed off?
No.
Oh. All right. Keep on going.
No. So that happens. Next day, it's a survival exercise.
Okay.
So basically, you go to the forest. If you see these scorpions with these deadly tails and like a silver coin type of thing, avoid them. But if you kill it, you get another silver coin. And we get our new character, Dot Barrett, he has remember that guy from Comey? He was like the protagonist complex. The guy from Comey, the handsome narcissist.
Oh yeah.
He's that.
Oh,
not handsome. No background. It's like he just believes he's the main character.
Yeah.
And Mash is a side character and all this. And there's this guy named Silva who he's a bully of sorts.
Yeah.
He hits Mash with a spell, like guts, like rocks to the guts. And Mash gave him this glare, not because he was pissed, because he almost hit the cream puff.
Mm.
And don't fuck with his cream puffs.
Don't fuck with the cream puff.
Exactly. So, okay, so Dot and Mash are together because Mash zoned out while he was with Lance, and Lance and him got separated. So
right.
they saved this girl. Well, sorry, Dot saves the girl, but the girl is manipulating them spell to like seduce.
Okay.
So basically, like you'll fall for me no matter what I say, type of thing. It works on Dot, but not on Mash.
Hmm.
And then we see Silva again. So the girl was telling Dot, "Hey, Silva was the one that was bullying me. Go take care of him." Dot's out, and during this little battle, Silva knocked Mash's cream puff out of his hand.
Mm.
So he's going to die.
He's in rage mode. All right.
Yeah, we don't see him in rage mode. You just see him glare at him, and that was where the episode ended.
All right.
So that's it with that.
1 down, 4 to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this next one really quick. Rank of the Kings. It was a 2-episode. The previous episode last week. First half is Queen Helen. The story took place when Helen and Dorche retreated the castle because of King Bosi, and this is where we meet Anne, which is one of the knights that Helen recruited. Basically, they knew each other from their youth, traveling buddies, adventure buddies.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, Anne says, "I can't join you because I'm obligated to help out these people here, but once that's over, I'll come join you." So Helen says, "All right, fine. I'll help you out then."
Okay.
Basically, get rid of the bandits. They did. Basically, the queen, she tricked the main bandit to thinking, I healed you, but I put a curse on you. If you do anything bad, you instantly die. So he believes it. So now he's this bandit's a good guy, helping out with the village with labor and all this shit.
Yeah.
So that was that half. The second half of that was Boji and King Daida younger. This Daida seeing more of how much Boji actually cared about him and how Daida looked up to him.
Oh,
because Boji's like a veteran type of thing. That one was cute, but this one I want to talk about because this is probably the best episode for this whole spin-off thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Underworld family. So Desha, Despa, and Oaken, like the three brothers. It explains what happened to Oaken, like why he became corrupted.
Mm-hmm.
It was basically the father who was basically trying to figure out like immortality type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he thought his other sons would get it, so Despa and Desha, but they didn't. But he talks about how he sees stuff in Oaken. And with that, we go flash forward a bit. Oaken talks about how he has no powers or anything like that. So he's envious of his brothers of that they could do stuff. And this is when the father is still in control, and Dessa is not king yet. And basically, the father is like sacrificing people for blood, like the townspeople, like goblins, orcs, and just people. And fucking Dessa hates this, so this is why that's why the children are going to war to overthrow him. And then basically, Despa sees that Dessa was using a baby goblin as like bait, like stabbing it for the main goblins to come, so that they could be killed.
Right.
So I was like, Jesus Christ. But you see Dessa like regretting all of this, everything, like is like clenching his fists. Like he hates everything he's doing. But it's war.
Right.
Is that type of thing. Then Dessa meets with the king. Something from the castle collapses on to the king. Physically he's dead. So his spirit comes out and he's trying to take over Oaken's body. But Oaken rejected him.
Right.
And Dessa uses lightning to electrocute it and disappeared.
Right.
Dessa is king, and Despa is mad at his brother for, again, sacrificing people just to get to the father. So that's why. So Despa wants nothing to do with his older brother. And Oaken is still like, he wants to help out. He wants to be there. There's still fights to do. And this is where he realizes he has the immortality. Like he sees, like his scars were healing and all that. So all that's going on, and it's got to the point where he's slowly losing his sanity, he's slowly losing his humanity, and it's getting to the point where his comrades tell him, "Hey, just retreat back. Like, don't fight anymore." But he refuses to because they're so close to see that one more battle and then it's over. And then Despa gets the letter and he goes to his older brother. Like, he finally talks to him and says, "Hey, this is what's happening to Oaken." And they had a feeling it's the dad, basically. The dad is, he's physically dead. He still has somewhat of a hold on him. Yeah. And now it's getting to the point where Oaken's like, anything he hears and sees is his dad. It got to the point he killed 2 of his soldiers because he just sees the dad in them, and he's just snapping.
So let me ask you something before you continue, because I'm thinking about this and I want to get this point out. If you were to watch Ranking of Kings, would you recommend them watching 1 through? You said the season picks up after episode like 17 or so, or.
No. The whole thing's good throughout.
No, but I meant like to pick it up in terms of it being consecutive, because right now you're going backwards in time. So would it make sense if you're watching Ranking Kings, you stop at I think is it 12 episodes or is it 24?
This
the
actual one was 24.
So you said it picks up around episode 17 or so?
They're the main story, like
for this side piece. What episode?
For this side piece, this would be around the middle, near the second half.
So like episode like 13 or 14,
like around there, yeah.
So then, would it make sense for you to watch episodes 1 through 14? Stop, watch this whole season now, this side season, and then go into the rest of the original?
Honestly, it would depend on how the rest go. I'm sure someone's gonna make a chart of what if you want like a correct chart order, like for a cohesive story.
Because I find that really interesting, and that's actually a positive about Ranking of Kings, that they're doing it this way for you to be able to go backwards in time. And if you were to watch the entire story, like,
and you know how people came to be and how they get introduced, and like why,
because everybody sees Ranking of Kings as like a really good series, and then you add this on top of that between the series.
Yeah,
I think that makes it stand out really well, all things considered. And I talk shit about it because I said I didn't want to watch a special needs 5-year-old with a fucking sword in his story.
As a fact, he's not. That's a fact. He's not 5.
What is he, 3?
He's in his teens.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Why is he drawn like he's 5?
Because he's cursed in general. Because his father and mother are giants, and the father gave up all that about them to make him so Boji can get power. So because his Boji is small in size, he's deaf, he can't talk, he has no strength.
That's still special needs. That sounds special needs as fuck.
But I'm saying but he's still
like the premier champion of the Special Olympics to me.
But I'm saying he's not 5 years old though.
Oh well, I mean, regardless,
it
sounds like the premier champion of the Special Olympics.
No, that's his dad is selfish, and now Boji's like very limited because of it. That's really it. So anyway, Oken, he wears the armor we see in season 1, like the special demonic type of armor. And Despa tells Dessa, like, you're the only one that can actually stop him, so help, type of thing. So Dessa does that. He sees him, does his lightning spell, doesn't kill him, but knocks him out. And he's like, as they say, he's sorry to Oken. And Oken's like passed out in a cell. And you see Dessa like having a tear fall down his face, like he just feels remorse, like he wish he could have done something sooner.
Right.
And that was where that episode ended.
Right.
So this was the best one out of the 4 so far.
True.
Really good stuff.
Yeah.
Alrighty, moving on. Skip and Loafer.
All right, one of your babies.
Yes, I love this one. Basically, it's a sport festival competition type of thing. Not a culture festival. This is a sports one. They do various sports.
Okay, it's not a bukasai. Okay.
Yes. So Makoto, she's like deflect that, like, oh, we basically, because Makoto's the geek. He's like, I got no skills. I just no bother. No, what's the point? But the rest of them don't really either. But one of the class reps gave him a little rah-rah, like, for morale. And this half the crew is somewhere in basketball, Mitsumi in volleyball. But she's not really good in volleyball. She asked one of her friends, Egashira, for help. And again, Egashira is the one that's like judging people silently type of thing. The one that like tries so hard to impress people.
I tried so hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like Egashira, she was judging Mitsumi again. Like, oh, it must be nice to eat whatever you want, type of thing. Like, she doesn't say it to her, like she's like saying it to herself. Again, because and we see little snippets of her as a kid where she was fat, and like she had to do like self-control, like diet, forcing herself to diet, force herself to like look pretty. All this stuff to stand out, like everything she does for herself, but judges others. Like she's envious, she's jealous of others, basically. Like it's easy for them, but not for her.
Right.
So she has that little bit about all of them, and got to the point where she was trying to teach Mitsumi how to do volleyball. It's not working, so she's getting frustrated a bit by it. But she still does it because she wants to impress Sosuke, the guy.
That she likes, yep.
Yep. But obviously Sosuke likes Mitsumi. And Mitsumi likes him, but not that way. Or just doesn't realize or understand yet. They go to the gym for practice one more time. And they saw there was a couple of guys there practicing too, but it's for girls' first year. Like it's their time for the thing.
Right.
So Egashira got bumped into by one of the guys, and she didn't say anything, but Mitsumi, with like this brave face, like nervousness, like the facial reactions of it, she's like, "Hey guys, it's our turn to use this." Like she was like, "Hey, like bug off, basically."
Fuck off. And
then the other guys were like, "Yeah, fuck you," basically. But when the teacher saw it, it's like, "Hey, guys, no guys today. It's for girls. It's for first year girls only today. Read the schedule. Get out." So they go away. Egashira the scolds Mitsumi like, don't do that, don't stick up for me and stuff like that. You could get in trouble with. They reacted differently.
Mm-hmm.
And then she starts like yelling at her again. It's like, Yuzuki could play volleyball, so why didn't you ask her? I've been nothing but rude to you. So why did you ask me?
Mm-hmm.
And then Mitsu's like, yeah, you were a little rude to me, but I like that you're blunt and honest. That's why I wanted you to help me, not because of. I know you will want me to do better. Like you wouldn't sugarcoat it.
Right.
So it was stuff like that. It's like, oh, that's a nice little moment.
Cute.
They do the volleyball. Mitsumi does get fired up. She finally starts going to. We thought they're gonna win, but they actually lost. So second place.
Oop.
But Sosuke, his basketball team, they're in the finals, and Mitsumi wanted to give Sosuke like pickled veg, like as a thing, like refresh yourself and all this.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that since Sosuke's like really so popular, Mitsumi doesn't get a chance to like go to him.
Right.
So, but she doesn't realize that Sosuke was actually looking for her in this crowd of people talking to him.
Right.
So it's like, Egashira sees this and it's like talk about like he's always trying to find, like he always finds a way to find time for Mitsumi for some reason. Like, does he like her?
Right.
Eventually, during the finals of the game, Mitsumi gives Sosuke the gift and all this. So really nice episode for this one. So
nice.
Good shit. Finally, Vinland Saga. We get our fight. Snake versus Thorfinn.
Yes.
They're fighting back and forth. Thorfinn is dodging everything. Mind you, he has no weapons.
None.
Yep. So, but they dodge it, but Thorfinn's like, it is false saying, like, he's faster than anyone I face. So he's faster than Askeladd, faster than Forkel, all that. And then Snake's mentality is, he was like, how the fuck did he become a slave?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's someone that's skilled. While Thorfinn was thinking, how does someone that's skilled work on a farm?
You're right. I saw that clip. That's funny. Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't get Snake's backstory, and that's actually something the creator apologized about. I really wish we did.
Yeah.
Get like a small backstory on Snake. So I think
I'm surprised they didn't like put like an anime only like episode. You know.
You know what? They might do a small little clip.
OVA.
Yeah, they could. Yeah. But the fight's going on. Thorfinn is guarding the carriage because that's where Garter is, like unconscious.
Right.
So Snake does this move with the blade. He like goes to swing. As Thorfinn dodges out of the way, they switch spots. So now Snake is by the carriage, and Thorfinn's away from it. So Garter is defenseless. So then Arnhide, the wife, sees it. She's like begging Snake to like, don't do it, don't kill him. And the old man, he was like bargaining with Snake, like, look, like I understand you're frustrated that you lost your men. Like I'll make it up. I'll give you money. I'll give you my farm when I die. And the Snake yells like, that's not about any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like he killed my men, people that I swore to look out for, and you're offering stuff like they're worthless. So are you telling me this guy, this criminal, his life is worth more than my men? Yeah,
because he's my son. Oh, fuck you, man.
No. That's not. No, he's not the son.
Oh, I thought he was the son. Sorry.
No. Kettle's not there. It's the criminal. It's the criminal slave. Arnhide's husband. Yeah, the guy that's knocked out. So you're telling me a criminal is worth more than my men?
Yeah, fuck you, man.
But they were speechless. They didn't say anything to say. So Snake grabbed the blade and stabbed him through the chest. But Garter got up, literally too angry to die. That was a real thing, and choked him out. Well, he had his arms around his neck, choking the life out of him. Snake drops the sword. But Arnhide, she like walks up to him, like calms him down, like saying, like, let's go home. And then Garter lets go of him. Snake's out unconscious. And he's like, yeah, like, let's go home.
But and he chokes the wife. I'm just kidding.
Thorfinn talks to Arnhide, like, he's like he's dying, like, he's, but She knows that. She just wants to ride off. Yeah, Garner's built different. I said that. Yeah, I said that in the fucking group with the thing. But yeah, you see Arhai like holding back tears, like she knows that he's dying, but she just wants to be there with him till then. So they ride in the carriage. It's just them. And then you get flashbacks of Garner's like little thing like with their family together. But in this, like he's his actual self. He's sitting between his wife and son.
Yeah.
And remember we talked about how he was gonna go on a quest for some iron?
Yeah.
In this flashback, he sees the reactions of his wife when all this was going on. Like he never saw how she felt or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So he's seeing it in this near-death experience. And he's like, he made a huge mistake. And when they're riding this carriage, and he said, like, I promise I will never leave you alone again.
And he dies.
And,
he's alone.
Yeah, like he his eyes are closed.
Oh shit! I was just joking. Oh shit!
Yeah. Arhai is like talking, and like, "Are you awake? Stay with me." He's like, and he says, "Yeah, I'm awake. I'm just resting my eyes a bit." And then he looks up at her one more time, and he says, "I'm home." And she's saying, "Welcome home" to him. And he's dead. He's dead. And as she's like holding him, crying, you see the rest of the guys coming towards him.
She'll join him soon.
What?
She'll join him soon.
I'm not looking forward to that.
All right, Matt. That took you all of fucking an hour to do.
Yep. It took me an hour to do. Sorry, guys. Again, just my satellite decided I'm going to update.
You rat bastard.
And it took a while.
Does it not let you know when, like, does it not tell you, like, oh, there's going to be a planned update approximately?
No. Just let this, it happens. So.
Naruto.
All right, so let's go. What do we want to start with? Also, guys, no Gundam. We're going to do a double episode next week.
Yeah, I told him all of that. I told him everything we need to know. No Gundam, no this week's, no today's Tonikawa, just last week's Tonikawa. Let's start off with last week's Tonikawa.
Okay, because you probably remember more than I do.
Do I? List. It's kisses. Yeah, I think so.
It's about the kisses, right?
Yeah, it's about the kisses.
And what you call it? NASA is fixing the vacuum from Kaname.
Yeah, give me a moment. I'll pull up I did do a thread for that.
You did?
Yes, I need to put up today's thread. Because I didn't watch
it. Do it after the show.
I will do it after the show, 100%. It was episode 4?
Yeah, 4.
All right, episode 4. All right. So, as Matt said, the episode starts off with NASA fixing a vacuum for Kaname. And he actually does a little soldering work, which I've never really done. So props to him for that.
Yeah, I haven't either. So
yes, and Tsukasa takes notice of this, and as a reward for all of his hard work, decides to give NASA a massage.
Yep, that's right. He does.
Yes, so the massage happens, and NASA's all flustered and embarrassed, but he enjoys it very much. You know,
but now he wants to make her feel good. So Tsukasa's like, well, I recover really quickly, so I don't need anything. But if you want to touch my shoulders, feel free. So he decides to rub her shoulders, and Tsukasa loves it too. And she's just like, oh, well, you know, I didn't know I needed this, but this feels good. Thank you so much. From there, they get interrupted. Aya asks NASA for help studying because she hasn't studied for her midterms, and she's an idiot. Yep. So yeah, she just plays games and all this.
Yeah, she doesn't play games. So NASA's like, oh, all right, well, let me see your tests. And she's got like 40, 20, 10, 13, 42, like just shit scores. And she's like, oh, God. He's like, all right, well, let me see your textbooks. He starts flipping through the textbooks, and he's like, oh, this isn't hard at all. And then she's like, well, didn't you not even graduate high school? She's like, yeah, I only graduated middle school.
Yeah, but he studies like every fucking day.
Yeah, he's a genius. So he's like, all right, well, he's like, I'll help you out. So he does some sheets and like gets her to practice and whatnot. So that was cool. The rest of the episode with Aya is basically just her studying and failing to study because she's just like, oh, this is too much information. I can't do it. But the rest of the episode really focuses on Nasa and Tsukasa getting a sheet from Kaname that basically lists what each type of kiss means. You know, like a kiss to the hand means like affection, a kiss to like the palm or something means submission, a kiss to the neck means desire, like all these various meanings. And little do they know they both get the sheet. But they're both kind of like NASA in particular is just stressing and he's just thinking about it. And basically one day, what's it called? Well, I should also say that Kaname is a little pervert. She just wants to know, you should be kissing your wife. I should be hearing noises. That's her whole goal, is just hear them have sex, because she's a pervert. She's like, I saw this from like all the fucking sexy, the sexy stuff on the online. So she's been watching porn, basically. And so basically they they need vegetables. So on the way home, they go to get vegetables, and on the way home, Nasa wants to try like what he learned out, but all of a sudden they see Yanagi and Taniguchi in the park, so they hide in the bushes like creeps. And basically they see them begin to make out, and so that flusters them too. And so basically they get home and they're eating the vegetables or whatever, and then they admit to each other like, yeah, we got this sheet, and they start kissing each other in all these different places, and it's really sensual. I really like this scene, not because it's sexual or because of it's horny or anything, but it's really like cute, very sensual. Like they sensually kiss each other in all these right places. And then the episode ends with Nasa kissing Tsukasa's belly as if she was pregnant. She's not, but as if she was pregnant. And Tsukasa's like, what does this mean? And he's like, I forgot. And that's how the episode ends. And that was really cute.
This was cute.
Yeah.
I hope there's more progression of them as a couple.
Physically?
I mean, in general, like it feels like a little bit of the same.
It's always a bit of the same, but emotionally, I think they're straight. I care. You know what I care about more? I care more about Tsukasa's alien story. I want to see more of that.
Oh, I don't know if you'll get it this season, but you should soon. And not an alien.
She's not an alien.
Not an alien.
I thought she was an alien.
No. As I will tell you, it's not an alien.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Danger's in My Heart.
Very solid episode.
Yeah, we got basically people are being split up into groups.
Yep.
And of course, with Yamada, with the girl, now all the perverted guys want to join in.
Yep.
But only 2 of them can go.
Yep.
Who's the one that didn't want to?
I forget his name, but he's the one that's
he's the
one that's in love with the fat girl.
Yeah. Kenta.
Okay, yeah. And Kenta loves the fat girl.
Yeah.
Haru? What's her name?
Hara.
Hara, the fat girl. Yeah, and it was Har something. I don't know exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So basically, they don't want the show because he's the pervert.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, we want Kenta, but Kenta doesn't want to do it because the girl he likes is in that group.
Mm-hmm.
So they pick Ichikawa. And who was the other one they picked?
The most perverted guy of the bunch.
So they did pick Sho because Kenta said no.
Yeah, they picked the pervert. So fat boy and Kento went over to.
Yep. Yeah. So Sho and Ichikawa.
Kento. I keep thinking Mihara.
Kenta.
Oh, Kenta.
Yeah.
Kabashi.
No, the other one. Capital letters Kenta.
Capital letter Kenta. Okay.
Yes. So the groups get picked. Then we get to outside. It's raining.
Yeah.
Ichikawa doesn't have his umbrella.
No, it's not Ichikawa. It's Yamada. Yamada doesn't have his umbrella. Ichikawa is wearing a trench coat.
Oh, okay, that's right. So I thought Ichikawa didn't have it either. So that's why Yamada went to go to the store.
No, Ichikawa had the trench coat. Was leaving. Noticed Yamada didn't have the umbrella. And Ichikawa was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to the store to get an umbrella. Can I use your trench coat?" And she puts the trench coat on, and it's like perfect.
Well, Yamada's a girl, so.
Yeah, I said Yamada.
Okay, you said Ichikawa.
No. Ichikawa was the one wearing the trench coat. It's big on him.
Yeah, and then she takes it. It fits her perfectly because she's bigger.
Yeah, so
he's
she
like,
goes.
and she's like, "I'll come back." He's like, "It's an anime trope. This is where we never see him again."
Yeah, he's like, "I promise I'll come back." And then she leaves, and while he's sitting there, he notices, "Oh shit, she left her bag." So
And
he
in the bag
runs
was
the wallet. So he runs to go to
convenience
Yamada,
store.
and Yamada's like, "You forgot your bag. You forgot your bag. You forgot your bag." And what's it called? She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." So she's like, "Hey, my wallet's in the front pocket. Can you get my wallet?" So he goes in the bag and finds an umbrella, and she's embarrassed, and she's like, "It's broken." Okay.
It's like
So she gives the wallet
just put the wallet in my shirt
in my
pocket.
pocket. And so he goes to put it in the pocket. She's like, no, it's gonna get wet. I want you to put it in my shirt pocket. So it's kind of like a little sexy, unbuttons it very slowly. Both of them are embarrassed and puts it in the shirt pocket.
He's fucking tipping her.
Yeah, he's like he's tipping her, and then closes it up, and he's like, "Oh, I'll be back." And then
But we find out, it's more of she just wanted to buy fucking stacks again.
Yeah.
And then she asked her, like, "Hey, you like ice cream?" It was basically ice cream. Like, you like mint? It's either you do or you don't.
Chocominto.
Yes. But he's like in the middle, like,
he's like, I'm indifferent. He's like, well, normally people either hate it or love it. And she's like, you want to take a guess? Time's up. And she's like, wow, that was fast. She's like, it was a reaction time. You're supposed to be fast with it. Yep. And he's like, oh, okay, the fuck. And he goes to walk away. He's like, all right, bye, bitch. And he goes to walk away. And Yamada stops him, and he's like, here. He gives her a chocolate mint bar.
Yep.
And no, I am not. Fucking other podcast hosts. Are you watching the fight? And I was like, no, I'm talking about anime. What's it called? So he's like, oh, here's a chocolate mint bar, participation trophy. He's like, okay, walks away. And she's like, oh, by the way, I love it. And then he's like, you choco mint, right? You love choco mint.
Yes.
Choco mint.
And
he's like, that's the loudest I've ever yelled in my life.
Yeah, I'm tired. These Japanese, they love the mint chocolate. We had that in the fucking Uzaki in that season 1.
Yep.
Then we got a small moment with Yamada and Hara, the girl that's going on a diet.
Yep.
But of course, fucking Yamada is a horrible influence and makes her eat this fucking junk food anyway.
Yep.
Like, oh, just one. It's okay.
Yep.
Fuck that. That was it for that one, really. Then
no. First, so they're talking girl talk. No, you skipped that completely, bro.
Oh, talking about the crush. Okay.
Yeah, they're talking about the crush, Kento. They're like, oh, how's it going with Kenta? And she's like, oh, things are progressing. We went out, we went to go shop. She's like, really? How far did you go? And Hara's like, oh, like, what do you mean? How far we went? She's like, and she's like, no, like, how far did you go to Shinjuku? And
yeah,
he's like, no, we went to some other place. Oh, okay. She's like, whew. And so they're like, hey, let's take a selfie. So they start taking selfies together and stuff. And they notice in the selfie because Ichikawa's there. And he's looking like a creep. He's trying not to be there, but he's creeping. So they notice in the back of their selfie, there's a fucking eye, like mad open. So they go to the back. They see Ichikawa there. They're like, oh, it's just Ichikawa. He won't say nothing, right? And then he goes, yeah, And she's like, oh, how long have you been there? Like, no, I'm always here, but Yamada comes in here to kind of eat her snacks recently. Da da da. And she's like, oh, and she's like, and he's like, okay. She's like, oh, good luck with Kento. She's like, yeah, good luck with you.
Yeah, she knows.
She begins to know. I dropped my phone. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Now we go to the group thing, like the field trip. They're at a manga industry, no?
Yeah, they're at a manga distribution place.
Yep. And then one of the creators are there that it's someone Ichikawa likes, so someone that draws Baki.
Yes.
So
they mention a bunch of them. They mention a bunch of real life anime, which I was very surprised by.
Yeah, so basically the guy held the picture out. People were like crowded around it, and Ichikawa like he's not looking though, but he really wants to. And Yamada sees this as like, "Do you want to see?"
Right.
He's like, "Maybe it would be cool." So she grabs him, drags him over there to basically so he can get a closer view of it.
Right.
Because he's like basically Ichikawa's always doing stuff for Yamada, and now Yamada's doing something for him.
Yeah.
So this was really nice. He loves the drawing. And the day progresses.
No, the day doesn't progress after that. Basically, what happens is they go, they're like, oh, is there anything else you have any questions about or want to see? And the pervert guy is like, oh, when you see like the real ecchi manga, are they looking at the shit in real time? She's like, no, they're not. She cut him off. She's like, no, they're
Yeah,
not.
like nope.
And all the girls are like, why are you so fucking perverted, dude? What the fuck? And she's like, I just wanted to know. So they're about to go on the elevator. And as they get on the elevator, a sweaty fat guy that works there gets on the elevator with them. And they're like, and they're holding their breath and shit. And they're also getting fucking like, they're getting pushed in. And so Yamada ends up being pushed against Ichikawa in like the sexy man pose, like one arm against it. And Ichikawa's stressing. He's like, I don't want to look up because I'm short. I see your titties. I don't want to look down. I see your skirt. Like I'm trying to. So he closes his eyes. And this kind of flusters Yamada a little bit because Yamada's, aware of the circumstance. And she's like, and she's like kind of shocked herself. Anyway, everybody gets off the elevator, but Yamada is still in that pose. And Ichikawa is still like got his eyes like, he opens his eyes, sees her there, and she's like, are you gonna get out? So they're like, oh, sorry. And so as she goes out, she's like, oh, well, that was interesting. And then fucking Ichikawa gets stuck in the elevator, gets pinched between it as the door closed. That was funny. And so anyway, the groups get split off into two things where perfect guys talking to two girls in front of them, and then Ichikawa, Yamada, and then a short girl who's fairly kind out of the bunch. They're talking, and Yamada asks Ichikawa, like, hey, do you like manga? And he goes, yeah, I would say I read more than the most, and starts naming off a couple. And then he shuts himself up because like, I don't want to seem like a fucking loser. But Yamada realizes this, and she's like, oh, what else do you like? And she's like, oh, he names a couple more. And then so he asks, what about you, Yamada? Did you read manga? He's like, no, not really. I've only read one, and it's a shoujo manga. And then Yamada asks, like, would you like to borrow it? And Ichikawa's like, nah, it's not really my thing. And then the girl next to her is like, starts laughing, like, ha ha ha. Like, she wouldn't want to read some girly little romance movie, like romance novel. Ha 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 ha. And then so Ichikawa's like, I'm gonna go take a piss. So he goes to take a piss, and everybody keeps going except for Yamada.
Yep.
And he's lamenting, he's like, fuck, like, man, people are judging me, da 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 da. He comes out and sees Yamada there, and they're like, oh, where's everybody? Oh, they went ahead. And they're like, oh, what time's the train? Like, oh shit, it's past.
Yep.
So they're running, they're running, and the train leaves them. And it's just Yamada and Ichikawa.
And that was where the episode cut off. So now they're gonna learn more about each other next episode. I can't
gotta think so. Yeah, gotta think so. I'm looking forward to that too. Yes, sir.
Yes. All right, Clue's first friend.
Another cute episode, dude.
Yeah, basically picked up.
This is really picking up really nicely. Honestly.
Yes, it is. I agree.
It is.
Basically, it takes place a little after the events of what happened with Ishimura's mother and all this.
Yeah.
And she hasn't seen Takada since that day.
Right.
And he had plans to go out, like festivals and all this, fireworks.
Adventuring, yeah, nothing.
Yep. But yeah, nothing, dead silent. So she's like, you know what? I'm going to go see him.
Not on purpose. She's like, I'm going to go out and walk.
Yeah, she has at the house. So you go, I may as well say hi, and he's there.
Yeah.
And Takada's all nervous.
Yeah, and he's like,
he's talking about, oh, I had plans with Hino.
Yeah.
But
he runs away, but what's her face? Nishimura grabs his arm. She's like, wait,
I just want to
please talk to me. I just want to talk. Yeah. So they have a heart to heart, and
they're at one of the shrines. They're talking.
Yeah. Hey, I'll grab more tequila and orange juice while you talk.
Yeah, Takada, he was apologizing. He's like talking about how like I wasn't aware I was insulting while I was calling you the Grim Reaper. Like I didn't know any of this. Is that why people are mean to you? And he's like talking about how like I made you cry. I'm your friend. I shouldn't have done that. But Nishimura was like talking to Takada. He's like saying, I actually don't mind when you called me the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, because it means
as everyone else does it in a mean-spirited way, but you
think I'm cool, I'm strong, I'm a powerful woman, girl.
So she's like, so please keep calling me the Grim Reaper. Like she likes it when he does it.
Yep.
And this eventually cheers up Takada.
Yep.
They're hanging out, and Takada realized, oh shit, I was supposed to be here.
I blew off Hino.
Yep, but
Hino shows up like, what happened? Oh, hey, there's a festival in the corner. Like, oh,
and that's one of the things they wanted to do together. So
yeah, so they do the festival.
Yep, cultural festival, slice of life 101.
Yep, not a fireworks festival, guys. Just regular festival.
It's a regular cultural. Like you get foods, you get prizes.
Yeah,
there's a thing with like a ring, like this dark matter ring.
No, that's later.
I know, but no, there was 2 rings,
That's later.
and he wanted to get one.
You're skipping the fireworks scene where they did fireworks and everybody's happy.
But I said no. We saw the rings there beforehand, though.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
Did not see
yeah,
that.
he was grab it, but he didn't give it to her until after.
Okay.
Yeah, but we did see it there beforehand.
Yep.
Then we get the fireworks.
Yep.
Then everyone's having a nice time. Then everyone's happy.
Yep.
Then we go to the next morning. Takada has the ring.
Yep.
He wants to give it to Nishimura.
And he loses the ring.
And of course, the bitch Sumire has it.
Of course.
So she's like, "Oh my god, why do I give it to him? It doesn't work for the Grim Reaper and all this."
Yep.
He's like, I see. You say I should get her a better ring, like a real ring. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. He's like, so you know what? And he goes to Nishimura and says, I know it's a toy ring, but I actually got this other one, which I think would be cooler for your dark powers. This dark matter ring.
Yep.
Like, these are so cute.
Adorable. Kawaii as fuck.
Yes. I can't wait to see more growth for these two.
I feel like they really are going to get together. There's no reason for them not to get together. Truly.
So anyway, before we continue on, there was more stuff. Basically, Takada wants photos, like with Nishimura. It's like a photo contest.
Yep.
He wants to take pictures of Nishimura with like this outfit, and they're like,
the winner gets a CD player. They get a CD player of some sort.
Yeah, they were trying to find various spots. Takada and Hino, they're like trying to figure it out, but nothing's working basically.
Right.
So basically, it's just focus on the atmosphere, just to focus on Nishimura.
Yep.
But eventually, they do, and this is actually the first time Nishimura enjoys her summer vacation.
Yep.
And she starts to thank him.
Yep.
And their picture was second place.
Yep.
So they didn't win. But it was a nice episode, nice little moments.
Yep.
Very cute. These are little.
It's grown on me. This show's grown on me.
Yeah, these non-rom-coms with romantic subtext, they're hitting off.
Yep.
So I love it for that. Alrighty, now moving on. Dead Mount Death Play.
Solid episode.
God loves juice, but we'll get to that.
Yes, he does. As I drink it.
Yes, but you're not doing the face he's doing. He's like, like what is this? It's concoction of sorts.
I thought when he said that at first, I was like, oh, they poisoned it. And I was like, no, why would Clarissa poison the juice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway. So, what was Polka and the girl doing?
At first? No, so the episode starts
it was comps free.
The episode starts off with the cops having like a debriefing on who they think the suspects are, trying to narrow the suspects list. While that's happening, and is what it is. Basically the episode really starts off with Polka putting the old Polka, his soul, inside of a shark stuffed animal. The shark stuffed animal can
right, because he takes it out of the drone.
Takes out the drone, gives it the drone. I think it's Tatsumi is his name. Takumi loves he's like, my drone is back, thank you. And you see the shark can like respond and shake its head, yes, no, etc. And he's like, yeah, I can make it talk too, but I need fresh vocal cords, and I don't have enough mana to make fresh vocal cords. And he's like, oh, I can get mana though through gemstones. And he's like, huh? They're like, yeah, like the things you like, sapphires, diamonds, rubies, like those are all magical stones. So if I can just get like a bucket of those, I'll be set. So they go to the store, the jewelry store. They see one sapphire costs 435,000 yen.
Yep.
And he's like, "What the fuck?"
Yep.
And
then, I can find these like candy where I can.
And he's like, "I guess if I save up my money, I could buy everything in here." And they're like, "Well, if you did that, you'd be paying at the current exchange rates 3 billion yen." So, and he's like, "Fuck that." So then they walk away, and
Arase.
Yeah, she's like, hey, why don't you just like, oh no, Arase is the cop. Yeah, the other girl. Before we get to Arase, Misaki was like, oh, why don't you just siphon it while you're there? And they're like, oh, because then the gemstone will break, and I don't think that's fair to the shop owner. And they're like, oh, so you feel chivalrous about stealing, huh? Okay. Yeah. And then at that point, Arase, who's the first of the cops, basically sees Takumi's drone and was like, oh, I knew I'd find you here. And then you see the kids there, and he's like, "Oh, just pretend you didn't see that, kids. Go on your day. Have a good one." But they stick
Polka,
around.
he steps in because he's like, "Hey, that's my friend."
Yeah,
He's like, "Oh, your friend. Well, I know the guy, and he's a piece of shit that will
and
turn
a
his back
snitch.
on you at
Yep.
any second just to save his own ass." And
Yep.
Takumi is hearing all of this.
Yep.
So
So
I
he
said, "Tell
calls
me."
him. He calls him, and he's like, "Hey, let my friend. Those are just my gaming buddies. Let them go." Right. And then basically they're like, "Oh, well, still da da da." And then
He's curious about Polka, but he's like, "Wait, where's the girl?"
yeah, and he's like, "Oh man, just by his stature and his demeanor, like, oh, is he like a Yakuza boss? Like, is he like a hardened criminal? He's only a kid. This makes no sense." Oh, well, hey, tell me about you, kid. And then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, where did what's her face
Saki.
go? Where did Saki go? Misaki go?" And you see it behind him, just kicks this shit
Yes.
out of Arase. Boom! Fucking
Yep.
Spartan kicks him into
the
fucking
dumpsters.
yeah. Spartan kicks him into a dumpster. They fucking run away using Polka's ability with the skeleton, and they're like,
when he wasn't
"Oh,"
looking,
they're
but
like,
they ran away first though.
they're like, "That's not a normal kid."
And
Because
then
I
the
forgot to
drones
mention,
were distracted.
he first gets excited, or he first gets curious about Polka. Sorry, because he touches Polka's arm. And he's like, "Oh, he's so cold because he's dead."
Yeah.
Yeah. So
now he's even more curious about him.
yeah,
And of course, he calls his other friend.
yeah,
What's his name? Tsubaki.
yeah, Tsubaki.
Like, hey, got away, but Tsubaki is here for.
He's at Clarissa's little shop, the underworld shop, trying to get information, but he gets drunk because he's trying to like get them to spill information. Meanwhile, Arase goes back to the police station, lifts up his shirt, and is like, "Hey, I need you to examine his footprint." And the detective, his assistant detective, is like, no need to, because it's the same footprint as what we saw at the scene.
Yep.
So they're like, "Oh, we know who it is." So he sends Tsubaki the list, like, "Hey, suspects are a boy with white hair, with a necklace, girl with glasses."
They know they arrived at the same area.
They arrive at the same place because they're like, "Hey, we're here to hang out." Like, "Oh, we're just gonna order milk and juice." So then
he invites them over to talk.
Basically to stall for time. And then you see Arase and a bunch of detectives come in, and they're like, "All right, shit's gonna go down." Then the lights go out, and they go to Clarissa. They're like, "Clarissa, what the fuck are you doing?" Clarissa's like, "That's not me."
Yeah, and even Polka's like, "That's not me either."
That's not me either. Polka grabs Mitsumi and was like, "Hey, like, we're gonna get out of here. Hold my hand." And then he stops in his tracks. He's like, "What the fuck is that?" with his evil eye. And then Clarissa lights up the bar, and you see like this creepy, like twisty, like Orochimaru looking motherfucker come from the
Lemons,
ceiling.
yep.
And it's Lemmings, who's earlier in the episode he was like described as like this creepy little fuck that's like super duper powerful, and he like kills people for fun and all this shit. And so we get the introduction of Lemmings into the equation.
So shit will go down there.
Can't wait.
Cannot wait either. All right, Yuri's my job.
Go ahead, Matt. This is a good episode, though.
This was definitely a good episode.
Yes.
Basically picked up where we left off, where we had the flashback, but we get a little bit more on Yano's side.
Yes.
Basically, how she was told about the thing with Hime, and when she saw Hime again at the cafe, like the first time, she was like, she didn't know it was her for a second. Then she does.
Yeah.
And then she starts actually feeling happy, like not angry or anything. Like she was actually happy that she was like, she's here, basically.
Yep.
And then you see that attitude changing, and you see why she's mad, because basically Hime forgot her.
Yep.
Like didn't recognize her or anything.
Yep.
So this upsets her. That's why she's in this foul mood.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't really a friend and all this.
Yeah.
Basically, the cafe is going on for the rest of the day, and Yano and Hime, they're not clicking at all.
Yeah.
And it gets to the point where sparks flared a little bit, and basically it's like, all right, break it up. Like, no.
Right.
So the shift's over. Hime tells Kanako, like, hey, that was Yano. That was the one that exposed me.
Yeah.
And then Kanako's like, so you don't have to try hard for her to like you anymore, right?
Just be you. Just have to put your facade up.
Yeah, but
she can't.
She can't.
Yep, she's broken.
And she's like, but basically, because again, like, why do you hate me? Why did you betray me? Type of thing.
Yep.
Sumika is trying to get information out of both of them.
Yep.
It's unfortunately it's not working. When Sumika was trying to talk to Hime, even though Yano's behind the curtain. And then basically he says, "Hey, okay, so what's gonna happen? Either you get along or we're breaking up the relationship between you two."
Yep.
And when you do that, it's basically you're fired or everyone looks down on you.
Yep.
All the customers, the staff in character.
Yep.
Like that's it. So they Yano and Hime they talk in the saloon.
Yep.
And basically Yano talks first about like how you betrayed me, you left me with like you quit piano on me.
Yep.
And then Hime she pours her heart out. It's like I did it for you type of thing.
Yep.
Like I didn't want to. Like Yano was starting to get the idea of like so she did it for me type of thing.
Yep.
Like what the fuck? And as everything was about to resolve, we hear a knock on the door. And it's one of the fucking customers.
Yep. And he's like, "Hey, I lost my umbrella."
So he ruined the moment. She sees Hime in her cheerful mood like nothing happened.
Yep.
And Yano just dropped the conversation.
Yep.
So Yano and Hime, they do the practice rehearsal.
Yep.
They're back in sync. And then you see Hime being upset after.
Yep.
Is like, instead of Yano, like, do you want to know, like, was it real or is it just another facade? And when Hime talked to herself, like, I wanted it to be fake, but it wasn't.
Yep. Yep.
So things definitely heated up there, and fuck that guy for ruining the moments.
Yep.
Very, very fun episode though.
It's getting better.
I'm glad it's picking up.
Yeah, I am too. Especially after you forced me to pick it back up. I could have been watching Skip and Loafer or Yamato.
You should be watching one of those, but you know what though? Now we're actually given it a fair chance. So
I just wish there would be some like actual like lesbianism going on.
Maybe near the end.
I just think it's gonna be like they're gonna be friends. Everybody's gonna be friends.
Yeah, there's gotta be some romance somewhere.
I still think, by the way, the other girl, the Jairu, she's hot as fuck.
Yes,
she is super hot, bro. It's too bad she's in high school because she wasn't. Naughty things. Naughty fucking things.
This one I forgot a little bit, so you're gonna refresh my memory. Is Insomniacs After School?
Oh, I'll be happy to, sir.
Yes, go ahead. This is your baby.
It is my baby. I love Insomniacs. Actually,
so do I. No, it's really good. I am sad that it might not be top 5.
I am too. I don't.
It still can. It still can. It's just gonna be very hard.
I really don't see it. I love the shit out of it, and I just don't see it. Honestly, all things considered. So
it'll definitely get some awards, though.
Oh yeah, I think it will.
Yeah.
All right. So the episode starts off basically with Ganta taking pictures one night from his or from like a random location, and basically when he can't sleep, he's going out on his own to try and like practice taking pictures. From there, what's it called? We see another scene from at the next morning where the girl I guess everybody's finished their testing, and the girls are like having boba tea, and they are just talking whatever, and basically. Isaki tells the girls like, "Hey, by the way, like I'm in astronomy club." They're like, "Oh, I thought there was an astronomy club." They're like, "Oh, I'm with Ganta," and we brought it back up. They're like,
it's Ganta.
No, it's only one in particular.
I know. Was it Mina?
Give me a moment. I can let you know.
Black hair.
No, she's got like blonde hair. Mina is indifferent. Mina's
Makoto.
It's Makoto. Or Makoto, yeah. Anyway, so she's like, ugh. And, you could tell by the scene that I have a feeling that she kind of likes him. because she has like this competition thing going on with him throughout.
It's like someone she looks up to, wants to surpass.
Yeah, I think she kind of likes him too. We're gonna see that later on in the season, I think. But anyway, so she's like, "Ugh, that fucking loser," and they're like, "No, like he's a nice guy, whatever." So she starts saying like, "Hey, we're gonna do this event. It's gonna be an event at the school. We're gonna watch an a shooting star thing or whatever." And they're like, all the girls are like, "All right, that's cool. Yeah, I'm in. Right, all good." Meanwhile, her and one of the other girls, right, Isaki and one of the girls are talking about the upcoming fireworks festival. And they're like, oh, it's a really good place to go on dates, da 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 da. And she's like, I don't think he'll be interested. Like, oh, you sound like you have a guy that you're gonna go with. Like, no. And the girl's like, I wonder what guy that is. Ganta. Anyway, from there, the school is talking about their the field trip, right? And so basically, they're like, oh, we're going in alphabetical order, and Ganta's stuck with like the class loudmouth, and him, they don't get along just because of their personalities, right? And so basically one night we see Ganta go out, and he gets a call from his best friend, and he's like, hey, sorry, I couldn't allow the cameras on the school trip. And he's like, oh, it is what it is. He's like, listen, he's like, you didn't hear this from me, but just don't get caught with your camera if you decide to fucking bring it, And he's like, all right. And he's like, are you out right now? He's like, yeah, but I'm going home. I can't take pictures outside in the night. And apparently there's a rule in the town or in the school that they can't be out at night. So he's rushing on his bike. But the fucking guy who's there, he notices him. And he's like, and again, I don't remember his name. But anyway, the guy notices him. The next day, he goes to take a piss, and the guy joins him in the stall. Or not in the stall, rather. That's gay. In the bathroom. And was like, hey, I saw you out at night with a backpack full of shit, looking pretty sus. And Ganta looks like he's about to fucking punch this motherfucker.
He's like, hey, so you're the straight A student, but you kind of a badass in real life, huh?
Right? And he's like, so you're going to snitch on me? He's like, nah, because I was out too. I'm not going to incriminate myself. So you're good. And then literally the toilet flushes, and there's a teacher that was taking a shit. Yeah. And he's like, what an interesting conversation I overheard. He's like, come with me. Office now. Come with me to the teacher's office. So they go to the office, they apologize. And basically Ganta has to tell this teacher too, like, hey, I struggle with sleeping at night. So that's why I was out. And he's like, you should work out. He's like, the more you work out, the tired you'll be, you'll go to sleep. And he's like, and if you can't fall asleep, force yourself to sleep. He's like, if you don't sleep at night, you're a fucking weirdo. And that's basically what he said. And he starts thinking about Isaki in the same way. And he's like, you asshole. And he
right to the teacher's like, oh my God.
He fucking flipped. Like he went full fucking what's his face? He went full Ishikawa, like school shooter mode there. Like, you fucking asshole. And we don't know what happened afterwards.
No, right? I think I started talking to.
Yeah, you guys start talking to.
Like, hey, if it happens again, I'll cancel your club, damn it.
Basically. So I skipped the scene, but we can go backwards.
This ties into it.
It ties into it, yeah. So basically, we see earlier in the episode, Ganta goes out to see Sensei, or the senpai.
Yeah.
So he goes out to senpai. They're going through all the pictures he took, so we can get more advice on how to take better pictures. And she teaches him how to build a tent. And she's like, oh, you got the tent down. Now you got to tear it down. Right. So he like goes in the tent, and he's like all like flustered because he's pissed off because he can't take good photos. And somebody starts rushing the tent. And keep in mind, his best friend had gone with him. And so he's like, yo, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Basically. And he pops his head out, and he sees Isaki there. And Isaki was like, yo. So they go over to the place, and his friend, by the way, he's a good friend. He's like, three's a crowd, not gonna block that. Dips. He goes back to town on his bike. Anyway, so they go into Senpai's apartment, and they start talking about the pictures and whatnot. She starts going through his notebook and sees there's like a bunch of fucking notes, and was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, this is a lot. He's like, oh, I'm just trying to get it right. Da 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 da. And so they are he's like, oh, well, let's kill some time. Let's make some posters. And they go back and forth. They can't get any posters really done. And then, what's it called? Ganta, of all people, was like, hey, there's a fireworks festival. Do you want to go with me? To take pictures only, just to take pictures. And it's not a date. We're just going to take pictures. And it flusters Isaki, but Isaki immediately says yes. And so, they're going back and forth about what, the night's going to be. And meanwhile, they see Senpai, the door is partially open. The cat's going over to the door, and you see Senpai like, I don't want to interrupt this conversation, but she's like flustered because she's socially awkward.
Yeah.
So that was cute and funny. From there, basically, what else was done?
Raining.
Yeah, it's raining. It is raining. That's what. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, for the event that the club was hosting.
Yeah, so it's rain. No, it's not for the club. It's not for the event. This was later. Okay. So it's raining, and they're in the astronomy club, and Isaki makes a bunch of like little like charms, right, to like make sure the rain goes away. And so, Ganta's in a bad mood because of everything that happened that day with the teacher, and was like, I don't know why you're doing this, da 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 da. Like, she's like, oh, you just smile. She's like, listen, and she grabs his hands.
Plus, he's also mad about the rain because basically, we won't be able to take pictures. I won't be able to.
She's like, listen, if she grabs his hands, if it clears up, we're going to make a promise. We're going to meet at night secretly on the beach, and we're going to look at the stars and take pictures. Okay. And she's like, you should make a charm too. So he makes a little ugly little charm. Yeah. And eventually when she's done, when Isaki's done, she looks over at Ganta, and Ganta's knocked the fuck out. Like, he fell asleep. He's the rain. He's chilling. And it's a really, really sweet moment between them. She tries to wake him up very gently, and he doesn't wake up. So she crawls next to him and puts her ear on his back, and she calms herself down, and she starts to hear his heartbeat. And she has some sort of like, we get this in episode 1 when they first sneak out, and she puts her ear to his chest and hears his heartbeat. Like, she kind of loses herself in like some sort of like space type of thing. So she like has like an out of body experiencing listening to his heart, and she basically lays down next to him. She's relaxed, and she falls asleep right next to him. And the final words of the episodes is, yeah, I love listening to Ganta's heartbeat. Listening to his heartbeat really is the best thing for sleep. That was so fucking adorable.
That was cute.
That made me squeal. I'm not gonna front. I squealed a little bit. I was like, oh my god, that was so fucking cute, dude. Great episode.
All right, speaking of not cute, Demon Slayer. That fish is ugly. That CGI fish is fucking ugly.
Yeah, it's a Magikarp on fucking like on what kind of drug?
Ecstasy.
No, ecstasy is a fun drug, dude. What do you mean?
Like, that's just fun.
It's like fentanyl.
But what'd you call it? Muichiro, I believe the Miss Hashira.
Yeah.
We picked up where we left off. He was saving the kid.
Yep. Whew.
Does his thing, kills that ugly fish.
But it regenerates.
Yep, there's more. Wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more.
But aside that, though, the main episode focuses on Tanjiro's fights with one of the split personalities.
All done with tequila.
Yeah, all done with tequila. All right, Dex.
Gotta buy more.
Yep.
Fuck me.
But yeah, Tanjiro's getting his ass whooped as always with the upper move 4, the one that flies. I forgot his name. Mm-hmm. Is he Joy or?
Yeah, it's Joy.
Yeah, Karaku.
That's Joy. What's his face?
Anger, sadness, and excitement or whatever.
No, it's joy, sadness, anger, and excuse me. I think it is. It might be like excitement or something. Anyway, you're right. No, so what's his face? The other guy. I forget his name.
It's that fish from the Junji Ito movies.
No, not the fish from the fucking Junji Ito movie. Where the fuck is Demon Slayer? I just had it.
Yeah, Karaku is the one Tanjiro's fighting.
Genya's facing sad. Nezuko's facing angry, and Tanjiro's facing joy. And then there's like a fourth one that's he's there. I think he's just there.
Oh, the angry one is the one that's in the middle, yelling at both of them.
Okay.
Yeah. And then he was yelling at sadness to kill Genya. It's like, I'm getting to it. Don't yell at me.
Yeah.
Genya's alive with the Glock. He goes again.
Bang!
Headshot. But no.
I laughed. They said fire breathing, fire dancing, human breathing. Gat.
That's fucking Glock breathing.
Yeah.
With his special Nichiren bullets. But no, Genya, he just starts like doing these random chants as he's doing it.
And the first one, when he's done, he basically teleports behind fucking sadness, cuts his head off.
Yep.
Doesn't do much. You know.
Yeah. And on the other side, Nezuko got stabbed
Yep.
by the staff.
No, at first At first she had like she was like, all right, I'm done playing. It was the other. Like, I think it was excitement.
Oh,
It
the
was
other
like,
guy, yeah.
yeah, I'm done. I'm done
It's
playing.
like, oh, like he excites me more. So
He excites me more because he's like a fighter. But Nezuko manages to use her blood demon art, catches him on like demon fire, takes his fan, blows him the fuck away, and then now it becomes Anger versus Nezuko.
Yeah, that fucking Anger grabs his pole, stabs her in the mouth,
in the fucking throat.
Yeah, and just does lightning.
Yeah. And
she's
the lightning is so powerful, it's starting to crack her neck, like it's gonna come off. And of course, she's the normal demon. Yeah. So if like she gets her
going on, Tanjiro, he's figured out their patterns. Basically, cut the tongue.
Yeah,
makes him weak a bit
from Joy.
Yeah. Well,
no, at first he had cut the talons, and then he had cut the talon again, but they became weaker. And he's like, oh, they can't split off anymore. So there's the four.
Yeah, basically, it's just the four. Yeah.
It's the four emotions. They can't. And when you cut them, they get weaker. So, and he's like, oh, you have to cut them in the tongue. So he's the one who figures that out.
Yeah. So
meanwhile, we forgot to mention that, what's his dick? That Mushiro was able to cut the vase. And that's the weakness for the vase one. You have to basically cut the vase.
Yeah, the upper five.
The upper five. Yeah, you have to cut the vase. But then we'll talk about that toward the end. But
that's more towards the end. Yeah,
that's more toward the end. But in any case, yeah. So we see Tanjiro basically getting his ass kicked against fucking Joy, just getting his ass kicked, and then he finally figures out the tongue trick, and he's like, all right. So he manages to cut the tongue and manages to fly back.
Oh, it's pleasure. That's what it is.
Pleasure.
Yes. Yeah, pleasure's the yellow one. Okay.
Ow.
But yeah, basically, eventually Tanjiro. He goes to the battle.
Yeah, he flies over using like he controls his body. He flies through the fucking roof, basically, busts through, and now he's back in the battle. He sees Nezuko's about to get his ass kicked, and simultaneously, while he fucking busts through the roof, he cuts the talon off of Joy.
Yeah, but we don't see that.
We don't see that at first. Goes toward Anger and touches Anger with the who's exhibiting the lightning, and he's like, "Oh, I can't electrocute myself." He figured that out. Like, wow, he can think ahead in battle. Like, he's a smart one. Yeah. And so he manages to fucking like subdue Anger briefly. He cuts him in the mouth and then free Nezuko. And then what's it called? Of course, it's
now we get to the other side.
Yeah, now we get to the other side. As all this is happening, we see basically. Well, we've got to say the battle still commences. The battle still commences between the two of them, between all of them. Right, and then the episode really ends with the townspeople. They wake up and they're like, ding 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 ding.
Like, hey, town's under attack.
Town's under attack. Town's under attack. And the townspeople can't do shit against these fish. There's a bunch of fish demons with the vase. Bunch of them. They're just all attacking, destroying the town. And the episode ends with the love Hashira being guided to the town by its crow. So enter the love.
This was okay episode.
It was cool. It was cool. We forgot to mention about Mudishiro. He had a flashback to him being young with the master. Yeah, and the master had told him. I guess he was in some sort of like horrible battle, and he was very wounded, and he had lost memory. He's like, "Don't worry, your old memories are gonna come." And he's like, "They'll come out of nowhere." And he remembers that flashback. So it's basically like inside of Mushiro's heart, he's very like he's starting to like change because then it all started with Tanjiro.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
That is cool. All right, moving on. My home hero.
Tense. So tense.
Kyochi's betrayal of the organization got him to deeper shit.
No, he didn't betray them. He hasn't betrayed them yet, but he's been working on his own. He's been going.
Yeah, but it's not working out in his favor.
So basically, the episode starts off the gunman from the other gang gets shot in the head by the underboss, Kyoichi's boss, and from there. Kubo. So they basically treat Kyoichi at the scene, right? And they take out the bullet from his chest, and they're like, "Oh, you had the other one." And he's just screaming in agony, because he's got no like anesthesia, no numbing, no nothing.
Yep.
And they staple him up same way. He's just staple. While he's just screaming his ass off, and Tetsuo like begins to pass out from it. But they force Tetsuo at gunpoint to basically next to the dead body, and he's like, "Oh, my name's Tetsuya, and I killed this man. Yay!"
Yep, it's
And
not
they're
looking,
gonna use
it's
it as
not,
more blackmail.
yeah, it's not looking good for him.
Not at all.
And
He
his
gets home
wife,
he gets home at 3 a.m. His wife is like, all right, what the fuck is going on? Like, I told you, like, I'm down with the shits. Let me be down with the shits, nigga. Let's go. Like, I'm with it. What do you need me to do?
but he's still like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, because again, he doesn't want to deal with all this shit.
Yeah.
But you know, the wife's like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
But now she must convince him to order to not lead in towards the organization.
Yep.
What you call it? Oh, sorry. We talked about how they met at drama club 21 years ago.
Yeah.
So that was their encounter together.
Yeah, we see a flashback for them in the thing, and he's been like a very eccentric type of character and such, you know.
That's what made her fall for him.
Oh yeah, because Tetsuo is the complete opposite. Basically, he's always been.
Yeah, there's mystery to him.
Yeah, and we find out he's 6 years older. So
Yep.
he's 47. He's 47, and
She's 41.
huh?
So he's 47. She's 41.
Yeah, correct.
Yep.
Kasen. Anyway, so they come up with a plan. Like, hey, let's get this guy. His name's Suji or some shit.
Which one?
The guy that they're with. Yo, why the fuck is my back itch, dude? What the fuck? I took a shower today, so Jesus Christ.
Bin? Not Bin. The guy with the flat haircut.
No, I'm talking about the childhood friend or the college friend. I think it's like Suji or something.
I know who you're talking about. But I forgot his name. Yeah, I think it's Tabata.
Tabata, that's him.
Yeah, Tabata. Or is it Hibiki?
Oh, it's Tabata. Tabata-san.
Okay.
It's Tabata-san. Anyway, so Tabata-san, like, get him to let's produce like some sort of 1 minute little shot, and I'm gonna post it on his Twitter. I'm gonna try and gain access to his Twitter. Okay, I'll handle that. So we see everything happen with Tabata. So there's nothing really too crazy about that. Basically, the only thing that is of significance is basically Tabata asks Kasen, like, "Hey, are you happy?" And she starts thinking about all of their life. She's like, hey, we're not living the best life, but I love him. I have a beautiful daughter. I can't see life without them, so I am happy no matter what. Yeah. And they go back and forth on some random shit, but it's whatever. Meanwhile, while this is happening, Tetsuo is basically trying to gain access to the account. Try and gain access. He's working with Hibiki, trying to figure out what to do. Eventually, she gives him a old phone of his, and the old phone has the Twitter account in it, but he doesn't know the password. So he's like, fuck, I need to reset the password. So he goes to reset the password, and there's a security question that says, what is your pet's name? Starts asking Hibiki, pet. He didn't have no fucking pet. So he's trying to figure out where the fuck am I gonna go? What am I gonna do? So she's like, what about places that he visited? And she's like, well, she used to go to this bar often. So he goes to the bar, and in hopes of trying to ask the bartender, what do you know if he had a pet or something? And he encounters his father unknowingly.
Yep. Yoshitatsu. Yep.
And the father, they have a conversation. It's very awkward. And then the father basically describes his heartache that he's going through. And he's like, what if, how would you feel if, if something really bad happened to your child? What would you do? And Tetsuo's, honest. And he's like, I'd have to know the circumstances, And he's like, oh, you'd still want to know the circumstances? I don't care what happened to my kid. I'd kill whoever killed my kid and their family.
Yep.
And he's like, okay, this is a fucking weird thing. So Yoshitatsu leaves, and he's like, before he leaves, he's like, what's your name? And he gets nervous. Tetsuo gets nervous, and he says Tabata's name. Yeah. And he's like, Tabata, huh? Okay. Walks away. After a while, he walks away. He asks the bartender, hey, I need to talk about this kid. And he's like, oh, you should have asked the guy that you just said. That's his father. And he's like, what?
Yep.
What the fuck? He runs out the diner looking for him, and he's gone. And the episode ends with Yoshitatsu saying, Tabata, huh? That's a lie.
So he knows, yeah.
Yeah.
Already. Oh, man. Good episode.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Heavenly Delusion.
Weird.
It is weird. Kiriko and Maru, they're at this safe haven town. what you call it? Name Kiriko. Basically trying to sell a CD. Like, oh, if it works, I'll give you 400,000. Does not work. Fucking error. At the arcade, Maru's at the arcade playing this game. A couple of delinquents go up to Maru. So Maru's like, "Oh, hi," type of thing, like ignoring them basically. Like you ever like someone and you find out that they're a dude inside?
No.
And we're like, "What?"
No. What the fuck? No.
Yeah. So like we're here to beat you up, kid. Like,
but he kicks all their asses.
Yeah, Maru's a fighter. Yeah, despite Maru losing a 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's like fighting him, holding him off. One of the guy comes up, but Kiriko sees this and this roundhouse kicks this one guy.
Yep.
Not knowing what's going on.
Yep.
So all that happens, like, what the fuck? So basically they're at this hideout in the hotel. Maru's talking about his flashback again, about his past, where he was. And while Maru was talking to Kiriko, it's like, why are you telling me to bring this up again? Because I told you already. I told you multiple times.
Yeah.
Basically, the more you talk about it, the more you like remember stuff around it, like surroundings, clues. Because Maru doesn't have good memory around when he got separated from everybody.
Right.
To find said place.
Yeah.
So all that is going on. Then we don't get to school yet, right?
No. Well, no, around this time it kind of does happen.
It does happen, okay. Okay, so we get to Tokyo and the others.
Yeah.
They want to do stuff for what's the friend's name? The one that's sick.
Yes.
Taro. Yeah, basically like they're doing all these activities outside for Taro, like maybe it'll help him feel better.
But he dies.
Yes. That everyone higher ups are informed about it. So this is the second death that happened in this place.
Yep. The first person hung themselves.
Yep.
Which we don't see until like that flashback.
Yeah. From Cuckoo asked, was it one of the guys that found out?
The white hair kid.
Kona.
Kona.
Yeah. And now the higher ups, the teachers, they're at a panic.
Yeah.
They're like, what the hell's going on? It's like, are you telling me everyone else is anyone else getting sick, basically?
Yeah. And meanwhile, we see before what's his face dies, one of the doctors is looking at the children and notices a footprint on the wall and starts questioning where the footprint came from.
But we know it's from one of the girls.
It's from one of the girls.
Anzu,
yeah. So anyway, that happens. They start asking about the second thing, about the second suicide or the first suicide, and they're like, well, the suicide is our fault. We inundated them with too much information. They couldn't handle it, and she offed herself. Yeah. So that's on us. Her death is our blame. This sickness is not. They're like, where is the sickness coming from? Well, they're like, well, we made these children to be immune to every sort of disease that's known. So if they get afflicted with a disease we don't know, they're gonna die.
So she's like, well, find it. Start making cures.
Yeah, start making cures.
Yeah, and now we get back.
No, that part ends.
I was saying we're going back to the other group.
No. You're skipping the other part. Because you can do that before you get to the other part. You can say what the final piece of the.
Okay, was that because this happens at the end, but we can get that out of the way real quick.
Yeah, you can get that out the way really quick. Where's
Tokyo?
Tokyo starts throwing up.
Yep.
And starts wondering like, oh, am I getting sick too?
Or she's just mourning for her friend.
No, I think there's something more going on.
But I think it is that though, but it's just more of.
Yeah. Oh, we forgot the other piece of that. Before the throwing up part from Tokyo, they cremate the dead boy's body, and they rush into the director's office and she's in middle of mourning herself.
That actually was after.
Was that after?
Yeah, they talked about cremated, but we don't see what happened after the cremation after she threw up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to save it?
We can say that for the end. Yeah.
All right, fine. That's fine.
because that did happen at the end.
All right, fine.
Yes. Kiriko wakes up, tells Maru like, "Hey, I'm going into town for basically get information, sell some stuff." Because the hotel they were staying in, there was a shit ton of books.
Yeah.
So basically make some money.
Yeah.
And Kiriko's talking to herself, like, "Oh, my Maru." Like she's impressed because the delinquents were like looking for Maru for like payback.
Yeah.
But they don't want to, but the leader does.
Mm-hmm.
Say, "Oh, that's my Maru." He's like, "Wait, why did I say that?"
Yeah.
Because she's like, I know I'm going to be alone again once I drop him off. I'm just a bodyguard.
She's starting to catch something. Meanwhile, she arrives back at the apartment
and
doesn't
Maru's
see Maru.
gone.
She's like, Maru. She's just having a panic attack.
Yeah, the door opens. It's like, what? You told me to hide.
Yeah.
And they,
like,
why were you hiding in there? Oh,
like,
no,
nothing. There's nothing to be seen. Opens the door.
Playboy magazine.
It's a porno mag.
Yeah.
And,
so you're just whacking it up. So
yeah. But then like they have like a nice moment where they
she
hug.
starts getting upset and it's like,
she cries and he hugs her and like it's okay. And she goes, I feel something hard.
You're like, well, you interrupted me halfway.
I mean, there's nothing halfway.
But now we find out Kiriko has a map where basically I sold some stuff, but I bought a map. Yeah. There's already stuff around it. Like there's this is a water safe, like 50%. There's one that's 100%. They talk about like where they want to go next. Then they hear a knock on the door.
Yep.
And it's the guy from the boat.
Yep. And he's trying to basically get to a doctor to give a piece of the dead fish that they had.
Yeah, the man-eater thing.
The man-eater.
Basically, like, I want to get this. And Kiriko hits us, like you said, doctor. Like, is it him? Is like, oh, I don't know. I haven't met him, but I just know they need this type of stuff.
It's like the Order of like Phoenix or something. Some shit like that. I don't know if Phoenix is Harry Potter, but it's like the Order of something, basically.
Yes. So basically all this going on, but he pulls the thing out. It's already deteriorated in this. Yep. So now he's like, oh, shit, it's all wasted. So Kiriko gives him a lot of money. Like, I just want the information. I just want to know where this place is.
Yep.
Like, I don't care about that. Just let me know where I'm going.
Yep.
So that's when Kiriko and Maru, they're going to venture out. And also collect the 100% water for themselves.
Yep. And
then we go back to them.
Yeah, then we go back to them. We see the Tokito throwing up. And then after that's happening, they cremate the body and the director's in mourning. And one of the doctors is like, you need to see this. They're like, what's so important? Like, tell me later. No, you need to see this. So they bring up the body and you see basically there's some bones left and some ashes, but there's a black heart, some sort of black item that was discovered from the burning, that survived the burning.
Like, wow, okay, that's interesting.
Piece of the man-eater.
Yep.
I don't know why I'm getting a fucking headache in my eye. And Matt's falling asleep.
You see a headache in your eye?
Yeah, like I feel eye pressure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have eye pressure.
Well, we got 4 more, so.
Imagine how fast this would have been if you hadn't missed 50 minutes.
I know, right?
40 minutes?
No, we would have been less than 2 hours.
Maybe.
So
or
far.
That's on the dot. But no. Well, at least, the positive thing is the live stream is going to be that long. But the podcast itself, once Sean splices 42 minutes off of it.
Yeah, yes. Go, man, guys. All right, moving on. Dr. Stone.
Another great episode. Dr. Stone is on fire. This is the best season since season 1, without a doubt.
Agreed.
For me.
Basically, it's time to build the boat.
But they're struggling to build the boat.
Yep. It's too big, basically.
That's what she said.
Yep. But it's too big. People are having a hard time keeping it balanced.
Yep.
But Ryusei has an idea, basicay build a model ship of it.
Yep, and we get a flashback of him growing up, basically, where he's definitely fucking spoiled because he's like, oh, you're being a dick. So because you're being a dick, we're gonna lower your allowance to 1 million yen a year. And the fucking maids are like, only?
Yeah, so basically he uses this to basically make a name for himself instead of just
he makes a company out of it. He trades stocks, makes more money, and anything that he can't attain, he makes a company to attain it.
Yeah.
Which is pretty fucking ingenuity. It's like pretty ingenious when you think about it.
Oh yeah, I agree. And then
all of the adults like in the company are pissed off, like this little piece of shit.
They're
Like
asking,
he's so self-serving.
they're asking Francois, like,
They're
so
Francois,
how do you feel?
give us your honest opinion. Speak. And she's like,
he-
what's not my opinion too? Like, just fucking tell us. And she's like, he's not self-indulgent. He's just, he wants what he wants and he does whatever he needs to do to what. But you guys don't see the time and effort that he puts in to get to what he wants. It's not simply a matter of he gets what he wants. And he mentions, he's like, you guys tell him to stop while he's ahead. To stop while you're ahead means to basically quit before you get hurt. And sure, you can avoid that, but you don't ever achieve your true greatness if that's your old mentality.
Yep. And this is their whole greed equals justice.
Yeah, and you see him get a yacht. He finally gets a yacht, and that night that he gets the yacht, Francois goes in to give him dinner and sees that he's meticulously building a scale of the exact yacht. And she goes to him and is like, dude, you just got a fucking yacht. Why are you building a scale of the yacht? And he's just like, yeah, that's just me. I'm the greediest man. I want everything.
Yep.
And so
so we flash forward, Ryusei and Senku, they basically had that same idea of building a model ship.
Yeah, and they said, we're going to build the model ship. We're going to take each piece apart, and then we're going to handcraft that specific piece. And it's going to take time. And so basically,
it'll make it easier for them to build it.
Yeah, and so you get a time lapse of a year. It takes them a full calendar year from the time they devise this in like the end of fall till they get to the end of fall the following year. And you see them all like partake in sports and do a bunch of stuff. Like all the villagers get closer, and we see who's the journalist lady.
Let's see, where is she? Not you. Where the fuck is she?
Not me, not you. Then who? Who?
Minami.
Who? Minami. She starts to get emotional at various points because she's like, this is going to be like the last year that we're all together. And so flash forward a year later, the ship is made and she wants everybody to gather in a photo, and she begins to bawl. And she's like, this will be the last photo that we ever take with all of us together. I want it to mean something. And Senku's like, what are you, stupid? Like, we're going to be back. We're going to 100%.
Yeah, it's like we're
10 million percent going to find everything. We're 10 million percent going to return home, all of us, and we'll be able to take pictures and be together. And so the plan that was devised is basically there's going to be a specific set of people on the ship. And long story short, it's all the main characters of the show. All the main characters on the show are on the ship, and all the other
but Ginro says no. We're like, oh, I'm not ready, type of thing.
Yeah, so Ginro stays, and all the other main characters on the ship. The other people that remain are going to be part of like an infrastructure team, and their job is to basically start building fucking the new 22nd century, right? Building things the way that they were before, like with the skyscrapers and all of that infrastructure, the whole thing. So that's their responsibility.
Yeah, but they were like, oh wait, what about the prisoners?
Yeah.
Like, oh, they're already on the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they were like, why? Well, if we have to fight, we're gonna need these two.
Yep.
So yeah, Hyoga and Homura are coming along this trip too. And then Ginro, he sees that everyone's leaving, and he jumps out of the water. Like, he jumps down into the water. He's acting like, oh, let me go. But no, it's all an act.
It's all an act. It's like, I get the best of both worlds. I look like I want to go, and if I don't get to go because the ship's ahead of me, then you tried. And he pictures himself being the king of the village.
Yeah, and then
Minami and the other girl like on his dick, just like, I love you. You're so brave.
Yeah, but of course they get the sun everything. Oh, someone's coming over offshore.
Fucking Taiju.
Yeah, there's like teleport swimming.
Taiju's just like, oh!
Yes, I was like, what the fuck?
He could beat Michael Phelps fucking swimming in the ocean to fucking.
Yeah, and then brings it back into the boat, and then Kinro's like, oh, I knew you wouldn't believe me and all this. Like, yeah.
Oh, I knew you'd come.
Yep.
In his best Paul Vera voice.
Yeah, and now the adventure begins.
Yes. Very solid.
Solid
the ship looks pretty badass too and everything too. It was dope.
Right. All right. Hell's Paradise.
Good.
Do you remember? Because you saw this recently, so you probably.
I just saw it like 3 hours
so
ago.
you probably have a fresher memory of it than I do.
Yeah, I got a fresher memory. So
Go
basically,
ahead.
the episode starts off with, I don't know their character names. Give me a second.
Sagiri.
Sagiri. So the episode starts off with Sagiri waking up, and they basically go over the plan of what it is, and basically Gabimaru and another dude. I don't. Do
The
you know?
other was
Sainome.
was an executioner or
Yeah, the
prisoner?
Sainome, the big tall fucker with the chains around his neck, looking like fucking Makabe Togi.
Roku Rota
No, I think it starts with a G.
starts with a G. Genji.
Yes.
Yes.
Hold on. Mwahahaha. I'm sending a text message. Anyway,
Yeah, Genji and Senta. Yes.
Yeah, Genji. So Genji was like, "Oh, you're awake," and basically Genji went out with Gabimaru to search the island for food and things that they can try and eat. And so they get a little lay of the land. They're like, "We found nothing that's related to the elixir stone, and all of the there is edible stuff. All of it is native to Japan. There's some non-native species, and they think like, oh, there's another island nearby that might be native to there. Like, okay, whatever. It is what it is, right? So as they're having like dinner and talking over the plans of various stuff, we see Genji and Sagiri have a conversation, and basically Genji is like, "Hey, you're a woman. You should go back. You should go have kids.
Leave now.
You're not built for this. Like, yeah, your blade skills are exceptional, but they're not made for combat. They're only made for executing."
Basically, he's being very misogynistic.
on top of that, he's misogynistic throughout the entire episode. And he's like, but he had some valid points in this particular scene. He's like, your blade skills are exceptional, but they're only meant for executing. On top of that, you don't have the heart to execute Gabimaru, do you? And he's like, so you should take the first boat in the morning, get the fuck out. Meanwhile, we cut to a scene with another couple prisoners whose names I'm forgetting.
In the flashback, right? Or
no, it's not a flashback. It's like it's a cutscene from like a different time. They basically left the island. A prisoner and one of the Sainome left the island.
Aza and Nurugi?
Yeah, Narugi and Aza. Yeah, so Aza is rowing the boat ferociously against the current, and Narugi is like, dude, you're a fucking idiot. Read the fucking current, dude. Like, you're not going to go anywhere. You're only killing yourself, so stop. And he's like, all right.
Plus people died, like, trying to use the boat.
Yeah, yeah, basically. And so they finally see something, and they see a ship. They're like, look at this ship. And the ship is all busted to shit. And they're basically in a ship graveyard. And then a bunch of monsters appear. They're forced to fight the monsters. And meanwhile, this whole time, we basically get a flashback from Narugi's standpoint. And she basically was a villager that was considered a part of like insurrectionists, according to the shogunate. And basically, she came across like these samurai warriors and was like, oh, do you want to just stay in my village since you're tired or whatever? And they're like, that's fine. So they go, but unfortunately, the village that she took them to is the village they were looking for to kill them, to kill the insurrectionists. So they kill all of them, abduct her, torture her to try and get information. But Aza sees like, oh, there's no reason why a young boy should die for something that he has nothing to do with. If there's a reason for you to live, live. So that's why she's on this trip, or he's on this trip. I said she for a reason. He's on this trip. And so basically they have to try and cut through all these monsters and stuff and try and find a boat. There is a boat out a little bit far away, and Narugi basically just collapses, and she feels the weight of the fact that she brought those samurai over to kill her family, and she's the last one. He's the last one left, and he begins to cry. And Aza's like, I'm too stupid to understand anything you're saying. Like, do you want to live or do you want to fucking die?
Yep.
And basically hands her a sword. They cut their way through. They get on the boat. They make it back to the island. So they were trying to escape the island, but they had to go back to the island. And they quickly deduce, like, hey, even if you find the elixir, good luck getting off the fucking island. Because basically all the currents lead back to the island. You have to deal with the monsters, etc. And they're covered in blood from all of the things that they cut and killed. They're like, hey, let's wash our blood off. Let's go see what's next. So they get naked basically, and Aza washes himself. He's good. And then looks at Narugi get naked. And we see Narugi isn't a boy. Narugi's a girl. Narugi's got a vagina. And he's all flustered, like, dude, you're a girl. Like, just, turn away. Like, I'll turn away. And she's like, hey, I like your chivalry. Let's get married when we find this elixir. And he's like, no, that's not the point. Turn away. And he's like, oh, like, samurai worry about the stupidest things. Like clearly she's used, like she's not in any sexual way, but she's like, I'm just naked. What the fuck? I'm natural, not a big deal.
Right.
But then the episode like starts off with them like going. Meanwhile, while this is happening, we see a scene with Sagiri and Gabimaru, and everybody's sleeping at night. Gabimaru's taking watch. I guess he doesn't need to sleep, and Sagiri comes over and he's like, he asks Sagiri, like, are you just gonna be like on my dick the entire time? They're like, no, like, Sign Nailman needs to be taking watch. It's my turn to watch. Yeah. And basically they have a heart to heart about things, and he's like, yeah, like I'm gonna go live. Shut up, puppy.
Yeah, and there's like, then Gabimaru like talks to her like, what? Like, be strong? No, you're stronger than me. What are you talking about?
Yeah, like you're stronger than me. Like you have like heart and stuff like that. And basically he opens her eyes to like a bunch of stuff. And so the next morning,
she goes to Genji.
And was like,
oh, I'm not leaving.
Yeah, I'm not leaving. Like I want to choose the way I live. Like I'm tired of being spoken to like I'm just a fucking childbearing fucking machine. And Genji's like, you're a woman, you're supposed to fucking do it. Again, this is where it gets really misogynistic. And he just goes in like, it's your job to fucking, like, it just goes in and fucking goes
her children.
draws his sword, fucking tries to slash Sagiri. Sagiri moves the fuck out the way and at the same time grabs the sword and was like, what? That's my soul. Why would you take my sword? Your sword is your soul. And she's like, and there was a part in the previous conversation where they're like, it's fair where people discard and retrieve weapons as needed on the battlefield. So she pulls that line back on his ass and was like, hey, you said that we can take and grab weapons as we need to on the battlefield. I just grabbed the weapon. That's all. And then from there, we see the giant fucking prisoner
who killed one executioner.
Who killed the executioner that she was closest to. Really?
Yeah.
And
now kills another.
And he bitch slaps Genji so hard, she rips his fucking spleen off his body, and he's basically cut like halfway with just a bitch slap. End
that
episode.
Was great. I was like,
that was
a great way to end it.
Oh, it's going down.
All right, you ready for the co-main?
Yes, sir.
Oshinoko.
It's a great episode.
We picked up where we left off. Basically, Aquamarine is like judging the scenery, the leaky roof, and all this. Basically, he knows the crew ain't trying, so he's gonna make it work. He's good. He's put in the effort. He wants to captivate.
Yes.
So they do the filming for real. Kana's there with the male actor. See Aquamarine using the surroundings of the warehouse into this.
Yeah.
Like stepping on the puddle and all this.
Yeah.
The echoes.
And so one of the director like realizes this. They're like,
he's like, what the hell is he doing?
Yeah, the one director. Well, there's a co-director. He's like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And they're like, you can hear the puddles. You want us to cut it? And the other director's like, no.
This works.
It adds an ambiance to it. Keep it rolling.
Yeah,
and then starts the lines.
Then Aqua's acting.
Yeah,
he's improvising the lines. He goes to the guy. He gets him motivated. So basically, like, so this is what you look like. You look ugly up close. Like you whispers to him so the camera, so the microphone hear him. Your Photoshop, yes.
Yeah, and he's like, "What?" Pisses him off.
Yeah,
and then
he's
the guy
actually into it.
Yeah, the co-director is like, "Oh, he's fucking improvising. This isn't what the fuck we wrote for him." But the other director is like, "No, like focus all the cameras on him. Turn the light up. He's killing it right now."
Yeah, and Aqua actually gets through to Kana.
Yeah. And basically we see Kana kind of go through like the story of like her childhood, how like basically she like was like the star, and then she read online about how she was washed up, and then everybody treated her as such.
At 6 years old, you're washed up.
Yeah. So, but they like, she kept this dream. Now she's got her first starring role. She's not gonna let this go, despite the fact that all the actors suck, and she's the only one.
Basically, yeah. Aqua's trying to get Kana to act for real. Like, don't just have acid. Like, act.
Yeah, and fucking Aqua fucking killing his part. There's a part where he's supposed to get punched in the face. The actor is supposed to like tap him or miss him, like, and
he just takes
he leans into the punch. He gets punched directly in the face. Like everything is just fucking killing it. And then the star scene in the manga, this star scene is where the woman realizes that she's in love with the actor, and there's a crying scene, and the crying scene is what always gets the reader. It definitely got Kana when she read it the first time. And so you see this crying scene. They do the crying scene perfect. Everything is perfect. This scene came out flawless.
Even Aqua was smiling. Like
even Aqua's like, I did my job. And the actor who was kind of a dick to him at first come up to him like, dude, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to punch you in the face.
No, I wanted to.
He's like, I wanted you to punch me in the face, bro. Like, you did good. He's like, that was a good scene, bro. You have potential. You have potential.
So basically, all's going on. Aqua talked about. Oh no, sorry, skipping ahead of it. Sorry.
No, you're skipping ahead of it. So you have to go back.
The wrap up part.
Yeah. So basically, the episode releases, and the mangaka
Yuriko,
who wrote the show is watching it, and her assistants are like, oh, like we dropped the show, like it's a bastardization of our
so she's like, and she's talking about the realization of people want their stuff adapted, so they'll do whatever they can to get to it.
Yeah, and then she
breaks
about
their hearts.
Yeah, she talks about the sadness of other mangakas where they got so excited that their show got adapted, and they see their show get bastardized, and they just slowly sink, and they get depressed.
They just accept, like, we're just happy to have it, no matter how good
watching or bad. This final scene that all this build up where it was shit, you get this final scene that is absolutely flawless. Kampeki desu.
And she talks about that. She's like, I'm glad this got picked up.
With tears in her eyes as she sees Kana cry. She says that.
Yeah.
That was really nice. And so flash forward, you basically get a bunch of people online. They're like, all the people that dropped it. But for the people that watched it, it gained a cult following, and it became a hit in a way, a little hit.
Yeah, like just that episode.
Event, thanks to Aqua and Kana. Right? They're like, it was flawless. It was amazing. Like, this is so awesome. So we flash forward to the after party, the congratulatory party, and we see the mangaka there. She thanks Aqua and Kana, like, thank you.
But mostly Kana, that Kana's happy because
like, you carried this show. And prior to that, Kana asked Aqua, like, so what's up with you? You got a girlfriend? And he's like, nope, you're not gonna find any scandalous shit with me. I'm single.
He does better.
And Kana's like, oh.
Yep. So kind of likes Aqua.
Yeah, but Aqua dick. Yep.
Yep. But Kaburagi.
Oshino Chinko. That's what she wants.
But yeah. Anyway, Kaburagi, the producer, like her agent, he goes to Aqua.
We find out, by the way, from Aqua's submind that, like, they're not related at all.
Yeah, but we're gonna get to that. Basically, Kaburagi's like, hey, I need you for something. Basically, like, he likes Aqua. He likes
no, you're skipping, because at first he's like, your face is beautiful.
I was getting to that.
Oh no, I felt like you skipped ahead.
No.
You said he needs you for something, and he didn't say that till afterwards.
No, but say like you talk about his praises, like, shame you work for this. Like, I could use you.
Yeah, and he's
but you remind me a lot of Ai Hoshino.
Yeah,
the Aqua. He was shocked to hear that at first, but
he's like, oh, how did you work with her? And starts, he goes over a brief history, nothing salacious.
Yeah, and then he's like, so, she's been dead after all this time. You still want to know about her.
Because he says, like, oh, like, I helped cover for the boy that she was seeing.
Yeah, so.
And he's like, oh, who was that boy? And she's like,
I'll tell you, but.
Are you interested in doing a reality dating show?
Yep. So basically, you help me, I help you.
So basically, on that, we don't know.
We'll get to that in a bit, but now we go to the next morning. We get a little more focus on Ruby this time around. Finally,
first day of school. I loved what they did, because what they did was they, at the end of the prologue on episode 1 of the movie, the hour and a half long movie.
Yeah,
we see them go to the first day of school.
Yeah,
and she's fixing her skirt, and Aqua's like, "Isn't that skirt too short?" And Ruby's like, "You've always been an old man, haven't you been?"
Well, yeah, he is. Yes,
he's an old man. And so then they turn over to the picture of I. They're like, "All right, Mama, we're off to our day. Have a good day." And you see the picture of them. So we get a flash forward of that, which was really nice tie into that. So it is their first day of school. We don't see anything with Aqua. Boring, whatever the fuck.
But yeah, Kana talks to Ruby and Aqua. Mm-hmm. Like, welcome to your first day.
No, you're skipping. Again, you're skipping.
What?
You skipped. No, because Ruby goes to school. She opens the door to her classroom, and it's all these stars.
That's after.
All these fans. No, after. It is not. It is not. It is not, dude. I'm telling you, because in the
I'll tell you, because Kana talked to them to talk about, like, the first day of your life. Then Ruby goes to her class.
Oh, because of the fact that she had asked. That's right. She had asked Aqua to walk her part way to the classroom. Sorry, Gomez. You're
But
right.
yeah. Kana talks to Ruby and Aqua to tell them about the school and like all these various classes. Like, this is where your real adventure. This is where showbiz begins for you guys.
Yeah.
That then basically, but kind of also gives me the advice of treat it like a normal class. That's all it really is.
Yeah.
So then we get to Ruby going to her classroom.
Yes.
All these gorgeous girls there. She
And
sits
boys.
down.
And boys. There's a lot of
Boys
hot
and girls.
boys.
Boys and girls. She sits at her. She sits at the typical back corner.
Cornerback. Yep. Cornerback corner.
But the student, Minami, sits next to her. Pink hair girl.
Hair, huge tits.
So and that's all she stares at.
Tits.
Just stare.
Yep. And they're like, I'm sorry for staring.
And then they introduce themselves. Minami's like, "Oh, I'm a pinup model." She immediately Googles her.
Yeah, you're like, "Oh, you're a pinup model. You have G-cup titties. Wow, they're so nice."
He's like, "I'm right." He's like, "I'm right in front of you."
He's like, "Wow, aren't you the bold one Googling me right in front of me?"
Yeah. Class is about to begin, but someone comes in, Frill, who was like this popular drama actress.
Frill, and I was like, "Oh God, no."
Yeah, she has like this cat or.
You got what I meant by that, right?
What?
When I said I heard the name Frill, and I said, "Oh God, no."
From what?
From fucking the Suicide movie, the one show that we watched that was really depressing.
Wonder Egg. Oh,
Wonder Egg. Yes.
No. Oh,
yes. I heard Frill, and I was like, "Oh no."
Oh no, this is what happened to her after.
Oh no.
But yeah, she apologized for being late, but Ruby's like fangirling inside.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I know why I love her.
Yeah.
And then
fast forward to the courtyard.
Yeah, to like recess type of thing.
Lunch,
she's talking to Aqua.
Hey, did you meet any friends? No, I didn't talk to nobody.
Like, you're a loser. Then she grabs me and be like, you be friends with my brother.
She's like, don't share your friends with me. What the fuck?
And then we see Frill walk in, and Ruby's getting nervous.
Yeah, and she's like, oh my God, it's Frill. And Aqua's like,
what's the problem?
It's just a fucking girl. You're like, hey, my sister's a really big fan of yours. And Frill looks at Aqua like, oh, you were part of Sweet Home. And you're like, oh, you watched it? They're like, yeah, I was on the set while I was working.
It's like, you were good.
You were good. You were good. And you're like, oh, and you're Minami. You're the pinup girl. You're really pretty. And
Ruby, what do you do?
You're like, what do you do? And
she couldn't say anything. And then she goes to what's her name? Miyako. Like, make me a model right now.
Yeah, like, they're gonna make fun of me that I don't have anything. I'm not a star. I'm a loser. And she's like, it's not that easy. I'm having difficulties finding pretty girls that aren't freelancers or available. And then
she mentions that. But before that, though, she mentions that Minami's like, no, she already has an agency. So
yeah, I'm not gonna do that. That's problem.
So Aqua's like, I know of a free agent, and she has a cute face.
And you see Kana with a derpy face to end the episode.
No, this is really good.
So let me ask you this before we move on, because somebody had said that it was based, like the story was inspired by Hanakamura. I didn't get that feeling.
I think in the future arc, I gotta watch that video. I think it's coming up soon.
Really?
I gotta look at that video. It was Loose from the group chat.
I'm nervous if there's a Hanakamura story.
I'll watch that video and see if,
I'm really
if
nervous.
It happened. Yeah.
I'm really nervous about seeing that.
I'm not comfortable watching. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm nervous.
Especially when her anniversary of her death is coming up in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it was the end of May too, right?
22nd.
Well, good thing ours is the 26th. Thank you for not killing yourself on our anniversary, Hana. We appreciate it.
Stop. No.
Rest in peace, Hanakamura.
Yeah.
I bought the shirt. You bought the shirt?
No, I don't think I did.
You should buy the Junko Kiona shirt. It's a pretty shirt. I bought it in the mint. Choco mint. I bought it in Choco mint. It's a really pretty shirt, dude. Honestly, it's a really pretty shirt. You should.
I will do that.
On it. Yeah. Did you already spent my PWH card, right?
Yeah, I did.
My fucking.
Is it still on there?
PWTs. Yeah, it should be.
Okay, cool. Alrighty, main events. We didn't expect it to, but it is.
Konosuba Explosion.
Yep. Basically, before we picked up where we left off, we get little flashback. What was that? Gargoyle or something like that? That was cursed.
Dark God.
What?
It's one of the demons.
Yeah, one of the demons. He was like in this one area, but Komeko, of all people, is the one that befriends this demon. Like helping out with the seal, like it's like a Rubik's Cube type of thing. Like, how'd you do that? As like you need a head of a chicken to like help it be free.
No, you skipped the part. So when he first meets her, you're like, oh, like what's up, like goat or something. Like I'm not a goat, I'm a god, the god, da da da. Like, oh, that's really cool. And Komeko goes over and sees that he's trying to put together like the little sphere. And she's like, oh, let me help.
That's it. She like a Rubik's Cube, yeah.
Here you go. And then the god's like, oh, like she's stupid. She does not realize like I need this to unlock,
to like be free.
Yeah, to free my goddess.
But no, she's just being friendly.
No, so she befriends it. She steals the supposed sacrifice from the fucking creepy fucking guy while he's eating lunch. And it looked like a good lunch. Like egg ramen. Oh, that looked really good. And they're like, I need a fucking chicken and a hen. I don't need a fucking egg ramen. So she eats the egg ramen for herself. And
it's like, oh, that he flies away.
And that's where we meet Chamusuke, where she drug him home.
Yep.
And that's where that episode, the beginning of the season,
wants to eat Chamusuke.
But again, it's not named Chamusuke yet.
It's Inky. It's Inky.
Inky-chan. Kuro-chan.
But what you call it? Yun and Megumin. They see that the house is destroyed. Like, where's my sister?
Yep. And they see Inky get captured, and I laugh.
And then Megumin's like I will not forget your sacrifice. You're dead.
It's right there. Save it.
It's like, nope, there's nothing we can do.
Takes fucking Yun's knife, tosses the knife, and misses wide right by like 20 feet. And goes over the cliff.
I tried.
And they're like, oh, who would have known it had a wind barrier? You suck at throwing the fucking knife.
Yep. She just didn't want to go. She just didn't want to go save it.
Oh, man. And so they fly away with it.
Flies
and
away.
They're like, oh, well, it was a good sacrifice. Rest in peace, Inky. They're like, at least I get it. They're like, no, and she was rightly so. My priority is Koneko. Let's find her. So they managed to find Koneko and Inky in front of like a thing. And so, what's it called?
Union.
No, not Union. Megumin.
Yeah.
Was like, fuck, I gotta save my sister. But she's struggling. She
has no spells.
She has no spells. She's like, she can redeem for intermediary magic. And
we'll get to that later. That's later.
She's like, I can redeem for intermediary magic, but then I'll lose the ability to get explosion magic. Fuck, I don't know. Like, I guess I have to. I guess I could start over. And she's hesitating. Union, without hesitation, gets intermediary magic. And she's
she's like in battle mode. She's getting ready.
Yep. And she's like, you were hesitating. She does it. She goes, attacks, saves Koneko and Inky. They run away, and specifically Koneko and Megumin tells them run away. So they run away, but Megumin feels bad for everything that just happened. Like, I made her use.
I left her alone.
I left her alone. Fuck, let's go back. So they go back. They see Union continuing the battle of the beast.
Well, first she talks to Komeko's like, I want to be like, she wants to be that strong sister. And Komeko's like, I could do it. I'll do it.
That was cute. She's like, she's like, would you be mad at me if I wasn't the strongest sister? And she's like, I'll be the strongest sister if you're not.
I love that. Like,
yeah, that was really fucking cute.
But now they go like, all right, now we need a plan. Union is like exhausted at this point.
Yeah, she's exhausted. She manages to blast away the last of the demons and then collapses from exhaustion. Megumin's there. Megumin basically says like, all right, well, we'll be even when I take you back home. They're like, that's not fucking even. I just used my magic, saved your fucking sister and your fucking cat, and you want to repay me by taking me home? What the fuck, bitch?
Yes.
Like, and that was funny as fuck. But then all of a sudden they look over the horizon and Komeko's like, look at all the chickens. And there's more fucking demons being driven away by the adults. I laughed, by the way. There was one adult he was like standing in like power position with a fucking like little pointy hat, and the magic's coming out of his pointy hat. He was like, yeah.
Is it that Elvis looking guy, or was it someone else?
It was a fat guy. It might have been an Elvis looking.
I think because one of them looks like fucking Elvis. So
I was laughing. I was like, this fucking guy in the power position.
Hair is like fucking hair whip.
It's like Bianca Belair with a fucking hat. But it was funny. But regardless, all the demons are coming in. And she's like, "Fuck, all right, well."
But yeah,
you're
this is
exhausted.
then this is where Megumin's like talking about. I guess I should like I can
like,
get
I'm
like
gonna
this
go do
holy
the intermarrying
blade.
magic. And she looks at her card and she sees explosion magic. And then she has a flashback.
She
when
has
she
the 50
strangled
skill
the second
points.
duck, and she gets the skill points from the duck.
Yep.
She got enough skill points for explosion magic. And in what I thought was a fantastic, absolutely beautifully animated scene.
Also, guys, this is why we are close with it, because of this scene.
Yes, in an amazing scene, she swipes and she's like, "Stand back." She starts looking. She looks like she's gonna go Super Saiyan with the fucking lightning and thunder
the crimson
around
and
her.
all this. Yep.
Yeah, and then
Because her little chant like I'm Megumin.
She's like, I've been practicing this chant every day since I first heard it. And she does like this long, super fucking insanely long incantation. But she's like, I am Megumin. Behold my power. Explosion!
Yep. Blows everything up.
Bigger explosion than fucking 9/11. Boom!
That she's like, oh, this is real power. This is what I wanted. It's so fucking beautiful. And then she falls.
Collapse.
Somebody catch me.
Yep, nobody catches her, and Union's also collapsed from exhaustion.
Yeah, and props to the younger sister protecting the bodies when they're both collapsed. Union.
Basically, and so we find out basically that explosion, although killed a bunch of people, now fully unlocked the seal because of it. They don't know what's going to happen next, and the adults also don't know that Megumin's the one who did the explosion magic.
Yep,
doesn't know that. So we fast forward. And Union's like, what the fuck are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You just broke the seal. Da 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 da. They're like, oh, we got to go to the school anyway. So they graduate because they both know magic now.
Yeah, both of them, just them.
And then Union's like, oh, congratulations on graduating. Congratulations to myself for graduating. And Megumin's like, what do you mean? They just gave us a paper and told us not to come back.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
That made me laugh too.
So basically, now Megumin's talking about go to adventure,
Union's
but
like,
she needs money.
Yeah, Union's like, what's next? She's like, oh, I'm gonna go on an adventure and tell everybody I'm the best ever, but I need money to leave. So that'll be it.
I need to find some work before I can.
Yeah, and they're like, what are you gonna do with your cat? And they're like, well,
Inky.
I don't want to. It would be like really fucked up to leave it, but
I don't want my sister.
To eat it. And so Union's like, why don't you actually do a formal pact and make it your familiar? And then you're like, well, I could do that, but if I'm gonna do that, it needs a name. Looks at it. Union's like, you're a girl, right?
But I thought Inky's the name.
Yeah, Inky's a cute name. Like, no, what the fuck? Inky's so crude and fucking lame. What are you talking about?
That's
like crude and lame. And then they're like, oh, and she looks at it and she's like, I got it. And Union's like, it's a girl, right? It's a girl cat. And she's like, from now on, your name is
Chamusuke.
Chamusuke. End episode.
Yep. Very good episode.
Very, very, very solid episode.
So I'm glad I picked up. This is probably my favorite episode of the season so far.
100%. This was fabulous. Especially that scene. That scene might be actually the best animated scene at this period so far this season.
Right. No, it's great stuff. I'm now. Do we not see the rest of the girls again, or is it gonna have a minor part again?
I think minor part. Oh, we skipped the part, by the way. We skipped the part in that scene is that after everything's all said and done, they go over to the fortune teller scene and the fortune teller's house. And the fortune teller's like, let me tell your fortune to Megumin. And Megumin's like, you're going to go on an adventure. You're going to go to the rookie adventure.
There's a place called Axis.
Axel. That's Axel. And you're going to meet up with a group of adventurers, and they're very capable. Pause. Capable? Pause. And keep in mind that she has the crystal ball, but
it's censored.
It's censored, right? So you don't see. And obviously we're referring to Aqua, Kazuma, and Darkness. And she's like, oh, never mind. She's like, no, what happened? Are they capable?
Nope, they're not.
Nope. Spoiler alert, no, they're not capable at all. Steel! Oh God, Matt, did you really just crap out on me? Dude, Matt just crapped out on me. Are you fucking joking? Oh my God, Matt, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. You crapped out on me. You son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. You crapped out on me again. You fucking rat bastard. I cannot believe you. All right, well, you know what, guys? We talked our cake. Hey, for once I get to do the closing since Matt crapped out on me. You son of a bitch. Matt says, I know. I'm closing. Fuck you. LOL. All right, guys. I get to do the closing as Matt leaves. Thank you so much, Chris. I think my friend Karen is the scuff is real. Chris. Oh man. Oh my god. Shout out to Chris. Thank you so much for keeping alive with us, Chris, this whole time. We would have been done an hour ago. So back up real quick. So for those of us that watched in real time, aka Chris Zephyr, thank you so much for sticking around this time. For those of us that are going to be listening to this on the show, you're going to see kind of like a little bit of a cut around 33 minutes. Matt's connection has been really dodgy tonight. He was gone for about 40 minutes and returned. So by definition, this would have actually been a short podcast. If you cut out 42 minutes from this podcast, we would have been a shade over 2 hours, which is something we haven't done in a long time considering all the anime we've cut. So I'm really appreciative of that. It also would have been 11:20 Eastern time as him and I record. So that would have been clutch to have those 40 minutes back. But fuck you, Matt. Fuck you, Starlink, you motherfuckers, and your shitty fucking internet. With that said, guys, we talked our cake. We ate it too. It's time for us to get the fuck out. But before I do, let me give everybody our plugs. You can follow Matt at I don't even know what the fuck his handle is. What the fuck is his? Oh, Damien Phoenix 12. That's right. Matt's handle is Damien Phoenix 12. You can follow me on Twitter at SHOSTOPPA24. That's Showstopper24. You can follow me on my Instagram at AI_anime24. You can follow my podcast Instagram at podcast_senpai or .senpai. I should change to underscore. Podcast.senpai. That's my my podcast Instagram. You can follow us on Talk the Kēki, TalkTheKeki. Talk the Kēki. We have an Instagram and a Twitter. We are both active on those. Shout us out on there. Shout out to our Facebook group, Eat the Cake Anime, from which this show was inspired. If any of you are listening to this and you want to join a fantastic group, go ahead and join that group on Facebook, Eat the Cake Anime. Matt and I are both admins. We'll be happy to accept you. Let us know you heard us on the podcast. We'll be happy to talk to you, shout you out, because it would be a really big deal if you joined us. Again, all of our socials have link trees. You can follow us and all of our other personal endeavors and show endeavors. Shout out to my boy Andy with the MMA for Marks podcast. We're going to be recording on Tuesday as this airs, with a big review regarding 1FC and UFC 288 that are both coming up this weekend. 1FC is actually still going on as I am recording this now, so I cannot wait to watch that. Shout out to Sean and W2M Network. Thank you so much for hosting us and dealing with our shit on a weekly basis. Shout out to Chair Shot Radio for hosting us as well. Much appreciated from that standpoint. And again, guys, you could follow us wherever you get your local podcasts: Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, wherever you get us. You can watch the live streams on YouTube and Twitch by searching W2M Network. For the podcast, just Google Talk the Kēki and you'll find all of our stuff there. And with that said, guys, I think we are done from that standpoint. Thank you so much for another fantastic episode with you guys. And as Matt would say, sayonara, anatua, fuck you, and sayonara again. Now I gotta click because I'm normally the one that just says bye-bye.
Welcome to Talk the Kēki.